Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling.
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are...
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
This is Dolla.
Every day I'm hustling.
No matter what nobody say, man. Spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dolla Dibiase Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, the kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar. I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
BoxingVoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for $300 million, and I made $350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on an app.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dolla Dibiase Productions.
BoxingVoice.com. Good morning, TBV. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. How are you? Good to see you back here talking some boxing. And obviously, we all know I've been kind of busy over the last 3 weeks. So I really didn't have an opportunity to give you my reaction to the rumored announcement, right? It's not official just yet. I don't think I've received any official press release stating that Keith One-Time Thurman and Mario Barrios is official. But it was Michael Coppinger that reported this, and obviously Coppinger is normally right, and we love citing Coppinger around TBV. That being said, I did want to give my reaction to that, and I want to thank the community because you've continued to send me this Ellie Setback clip that I never clicked on. You know, I was busy. I seen it. The thumbnail has Regis on it, so I wasn't in a hurry to click it because, you know, it's just like I didn't know what it was. I woke up early this morning, clicked it, and it happened to be Terence Crawford confronting Regis Prograis. And, man, I was taken back. I really was taken back. I'm like, well, look at this. You know, this guy is becoming a boxing bully, and I like it. Not in a bad way. I know bully has this bad term associated with it, this black cloud. But, you know, I like the pressure. It's probably the better choice of words that Terence is putting on the boxing community as a whole. I mean, look, I really wish I could show you the video, but Ellie's been a little bit anal with his videos as of late. You know, he might ask me to take it down or copyright us. So you would have to go find it. It's on his Instagram. And obviously, Crawford confronts Regis, who's with his wife. And Regis' wife is defending Regis, and she's essentially like, look, you know, you were saying to the media, like, who is Regis when Regis had belts? And he was like, no, you got the timeline wrong. And he being Crawford is like, you got the timeline wrong. Like, when Regis was calling me out, I was about to undispute. So he points to Regis and he basically is like, yo, am I right or am I wrong? So Regis is like, yeah, but the fact that like Regis was just so much smaller than him, it was insanely like he's so much smaller than him. Like that fight probably should never happen. Like Regis is so much smaller. Then Crawford again. He's a dog, he's a beast, he's a gorilla. My man in his face, in his wife's face, said, and I'm paraphrasing, go find a clip, but most of this is word for word. He's like, it don't matter anyway, because I would have no, he said you should have moved up to 47 and I would have slapped you around anyway. Like, and then Regis just smiles. So it's like, wow, that was crazy. I really wish we could at least show you the audio and the video. You got to see Crawford's mannerisms, his body language. He's out here putting pressure. Man. It was an interesting confrontation, to say the least. It's definitely something that you as a boxing fan should be seeking out. Once again, it is on Ellie's Instagram, and it's not that difficult to find. And you should really watch it. You should really, really watch it because it's quite interesting. It really is. So the post is from, oh wow, he posts a lot. This is only a day ago. So there is a lot. You would have to find it. It's only a day ago. But man, yeah, it's worth a look. And just the size, bro. Crawford is bigger than everybody. Well, was he bigger than Taylor? I forget. I think Taylor was pretty big. But, I mean, everybody he's been meeting, bro, he's been so much taller than. It's really crazy, Really crazy. How big he really is. To think that he started at 35 and he's towering over guys. It's crazy. But it just shows how Crawford's personality has been able to flourish and blossom once he's left Top Rank. Oh, look at Blair Fair. Blair Fair says, fuck the bullshit, I'll take them both. But then he throws a bunch of laugh out loud emojis. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what to think of Mr. Flair. But it was interesting. Again, the Prograis body language. The fact that Crawford is like addressing the wife because she was defending him. But the body language, it's just like, nah, I see now. When I said that about you, but, when I said that about you, I ain't meet you, is what I feel like in this video. It's like, now that I met you, it's like, wait a minute. I mean, listen, Crawford is making Regis look like a 126-pounder in this video. You really need to watch it. I never knew Regis was that short. And little. I mean, body-wise, like Crawford's body, Regis' body fits inside of Crawford. He could wear that skin. That shit is crazy, man. Oh, his energy never changed? Nah, come on, Tack. He wasn't talking like this. What you mean? He wasn't out here doing all this that he doing. He out here every day starting some new shit, and I love it. But we can't act like this is what he was doing. Come on, man. Nah. But, look, to each his own. If you believe that, I'm not here to argue. It is what it is. All I'm saying is, I like it. I like it. I definitely love his newfound energy. Whether you think it's been there or not, I like it. You know. Yeah, Guapo, he is bigger than most people think. And I figured Taylor was bigger than Crawford. I remember Top Rank posted it. But listen, Crawford is huge. This shit looks crazy, how big he is compared to Regis. And, you know, obviously, secondary topic, we're all reacting to the Barrios and Thurman announcement. You know, we've touched on it slightly, but never given it its full time. And I know yesterday the conversation was kind of brought up about, you know, paying for Thurman to tune up, but not paying for Thurman to fight Crawford. And obviously it's because we believe that Thurman has a shot if he was 100%, you know, whereas, you know, no one's giving Barrios a shot at 100 or 110% to beat any of those top welterweights. And that's just it. You know, it is unfortunate that we got to pay for it if they do make it. I mean, again, this is just a rumor. Nothing officially announced yet. And Guapo, I would love that. You know, I was pushing that hardcore. And by that, I mean Tank versus Thurman. And you're saying next year, I wouldn't mind it. That's why I don't mind the Barrios name. Barrios, common opponent with Tank. Leonard Ellerby seems to think that Tank, you know, destroys Thurman. Some people seem to think that too. If that's the case, common opponent makes a lot of sense. Even if you don't want Thurman to face Tank, the association helps. Probably with recognition, probably with pay-per-view, sales, viewership. Tank's a known star. So Barrios being a common opponent of that star, it does help. And, you know, we knew this was coming. Now, we didn't exactly know it would be Thurman, but we knew it was coming the minute that Barrios lost his belt and was ranked in the top 5 of the WBA. You know, we expected something like this. We just didn't know exactly with who, you know, a guy like Barrios would end up across from in the ring. Now we find out it could possibly be Keith one-time Thurman. And, you know, I don't have to double down and say that I'm not mad. I'm really not mad. Intrigue seems to believe the Tank versus Thurman never happens. Ellerby was just talking shit. I don't know. I guess that all depends on how Thurman looks against Mario Barrios, because the barometer is now there to be set, and people will compare. So, you know, whether it's going to happen or not, there's going to be a bunch of comparisons. So Thurman needs to know that. He needs to know he can't go into this fight playing games, because he will be compared to the young Tank. Good morning to you too, Ronald Finkley. Shout out to you. Good morning to everybody joining in. We're giving our reactions to Thurman and Barrios and Crawford and Regis Prograis confrontation. Obviously, it's fight week. If you want to discuss Marcus Brown or Chisora Parker, feel free. We will have our evening show tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we will discuss all this weekend's fights and any news and notes we might have missed throughout the week. Right now, we're talking Barrios, Thurman, possibly on pay-per-view, according to Michael Coppinger. Salute. Salute, all around strong. Salute, what it do? I see ya. Buenos dias, D Nice in Tampa. What's up? Shout out to you, man. So yeah, man. I don't mind the Thurman fight. My man needs a tune-up. Barrios has been out there. He's been on a pay-per-view. He's been on a big stage in Atlanta with Tank. And a tune-up is a tune-up. Obviously, this is leaving a sad taste or a sour taste in people's mouth because tune-ups are not supposed to be something we pay for. And I get it. I'm shocked to see Thurman, not accept a pay cut to the point where Al has to put him on pay-per-view with a tune-up. Like, strange. I wonder if that's the truth, if that's the true story. But looks like we got our very own Adrian Rowan. What up?
I'm good. I beat Polly. I left with his belt and his girl.
This a Dolla beat.
Hey, Pops. And I know all y'all against me. All that soft talking. I know you can do it, man. You got to. Just shut that soft ass shit up.
BoxingVoice.com.
What up? Good morning, TBV. How's the nation doing today? I'm doing great. Besides all this wind, it's like 60 degrees out here, but it looks like it's going to be a tornado or some shit. So,
damn, tornado.
Yeah, bro, this wind been crazy for like 18 hours. But hey, there's no snow, so I'm happy about that shit.
Damn, what's that?
Fuck out of here.
Check out that sun. Yeah.
It's all good. We're going to get there one day, Ness. We're going to get there one day. We're trying to have 2 homes, one in Florida and one here.
I hear you. So listen, man. What's your reaction, man? What did you first think when you heard Barrios, Thurman, and the fact that it could possibly on pay-per-view? What you think of the fight? What you think, obviously, overall?
I'm not mad at the fight. I mean, obviously, Keith hasn't fought in years, so I think that bringing a guy up in weight, because I think what they're trying to do is basically nullify the fact that they don't want somebody in there who's a puncher. We all know Barrios is going to give a good fight. We've seen the Tank fight. Nobody was not entertained by that. Pay-per-view, though, man, they getting greedy, Ness. They getting greedy. Like, this whole fourth quarter, they hit the pockets every time. You know what I mean? And I think they're going to keep hitting our pockets because they're realizing, well, people are still going to buy these pay-per-views one after another. So, unfortunately, I feel like they're going to keep hitting our pockets going into quarter one of next year, until they really, really get some bad numbers on one of these. I think they're going to try to make us pay for everything the way everything's going, which is kind of bullshit. But overall, I think it's a good fight. I'm a Thurman fan. I just want to see the guy fight. Do I want to pay $80 to watch him fight Barrios? Man, they better have a fire. They better have a fire undercard. That's all I got to say.
I wonder if they're gonna do. I wonder if they're gonna do 80 since they're doing the Ortiz for 40.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't. I mean, I understand that if they got to pay Keith, I mean, I get the business side of it, but at the same time, like, they got to realize the fans want to keep investing in fights. But if you give us fights that aren't really worth $80 and keep making us pay, they're gonna be fights that we don't pay for or that people are gonna stream. They're gonna be like, nah.
That's exactly what they said in the chat. You're not hitting my pockets. I'm hitting them links.
Right. That's all I'm saying. Like, and at some point, as much as I don't believe in stealing fights, man, if you're going to hit my pocket for every little thing, nah, eventually I'm going to watch something for free or just not watch it and hit the highlights.
Yo, bro, Dazn is starting to look like the fucking, And the shit is that they don't got enough fights, man. Neither does ESPN. This shit is really corny, man. They ripping us for real, man.
Everybody's trying to take a little something, Each network's trying to get money for this, money for that. But like you said, I mean, if we can calculate what we spent in pay-per-view this year, if you bought, almost all of them, I mean, dang.
That's a payment. That's a payment for the vet, man.
Right. And the insurance.
It's crazy,
yeah,
man. It's crazy.
But the fight's good, though. The fight's good. I mean, I don't think it's a bad fight at all. I think it'll be entertaining. We'll get our money's worth. But if you're going to have these fights like this, they really need to start putting really good co-main events and really good undercards together. I wouldn't be mad if I was watching 2 or 3 other fights of interest under a main card like that. And that's a problem sometimes with these boxing cards. You either got a super fire boxing card that's good from, top to bottom pretty much, or you got one that has a main event and a bunch of shit that we kind of really don't care about.
That would be interesting to see. I wish they understood that division matching is a good thing. They have the control and the ability to decide we're going to do a welterweight pay-per-view. Keith Thurman to headline it versus Barrios. We can put, whatever other Ennis on there. We'll put another welterweight, could be Ugas or obviously not Earl, but whatever welterweights, just give the fans kind of the introduction and the knowledge of that division by stacking it, similar to how they did the heavyweight pay-per-view with Wilder and Fury, And even how they're doing the Luis Ortiz, it's the entire division on a card, so you get to see that division move. I think that's beneficial for us as fans and for story building, for wanting what's next or hoping what's next. It kind of gives you a path or some sort of trajectory to have that many fighters in the same division mixing it up. You know what's next now, at least I believe, right? I don't know. How do you feel about the possibility of making it an all-out welterweight card?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, I'm with you. Storylines, like put the people who are all ranked in the same, who could all see each other at some point on a card together. I mean, that's kind of like back in the day when Kelly Pavlik fought Edison Miranda and Jermaine Taylor. He fought Corey Spinks, right? Yeah, he fought Corey Spinks that night. I mean, look what the next matchup was. Then right after that, you had Pavlik fight Jermaine for the title. It was setting things up on the undercard. I definitely like that idea. I mean, we've seen that in the past, and it works out really well.
Yeah, man. I like when they stick to the same division. But I don't know. I sent you the link. I don't know if you still need a few more minutes. I wanted you to see the altercation, confrontation, the definitely the motivation for today's episode. Crawford, becoming the new neighborhood Spider-Man, man, giving us a lot to talk about. He's out here showing his personality. This is not something that I believe was an everyday thing for him, maybe amongst his inner circle, but I don't think we were seeing this version of Crawford this regularly. And to get it, I love it. But I want your thoughts on the body language of Regis. Obviously, I don't know everything, man. Listen to it, watch it, rewatch it. Tell me what you think. This was very interesting to me. It's funny. I was sent that clip about 10 times from 10 different, TBV community members, and I just didn't click it. And this morning, I'm like, let me look at this shit, because so many people sent it. The thumbnail was Regis. To me, it wasn't hitting. Like, it was like, what could they be sending me with Regis? Sure enough, I clicked it this morning. I'm like, oh, well, look, this guy, he's getting pushed up on. A little bit of pressure here. Body language looking different. Regis looking like an island boy as skinny as he looked next to Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, oh, look decent.
I'm looking, man. It's just giving me a hard time on the link.
Oh, yeah, the internet sucks out there then.
I mean, Terrence is doing everything we want now, right?
Exactly.
All that shit that we talked before. You're quiet. You're not selling yourself. Now he's out there. Interestingly enough, now that he's away from Bob,
Yep.
he's out here doing what he needs to do.
Yep. Which is
It
funny.
seems-
I wonder, were they at the point, man, this dude don't get me what I want. We not helping him make no more money. Because, he wasn't out here I'm in the ocean. Where's the big fit? He's doing what we've been asking to do. He's being animated. He's giving you something to be entertained and want to follow. Exactly. Look at Steven, I don't know, Tillerson, I don't know. But he says, Bud finding his voice has been great recently. Wondering why he didn't do this sooner. Same thing we're talking about. I don't really care why he ain't do it sooner at this point. That time is water under the bridge. He was with Top Rank, whatever. But I love this new, outspoken, talkative, and just the pressure, It's pressure. This is pressure to the whole sport. He's not stopping at any division, not too long ago, even on Twitter, he came at Jamel yo, I was gone for a minute, but I'm back, and he said something about Jamel, he don't care anymore, and I like that he's not just on Twitter anymore. On Twitter is one thing. This is right. This is way better. So he must be rewatching that damn thing, because that clip ain't that long. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I see Terrence. He there, man. He's pressing. You see that body language. He's pressing.
Somebody said, how old is Bud? About time. That's true, but I'm saying, I feel like I'm happy, though. It took whatever time. I'm still happy, though. He's doing what he needs to do. And hopefully, it gets that job done. But, I mean, just Regis's face is yo, it's he know right then and there. It's yo, that scene from, what was it, Menace Society? He's you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up. And he just looking at him damn, you're probably too big for me to fight. Now, don't get me wrong. He did fight Josh Taylor, and Josh happens to be bigger than Crawford. But, I mean, the skills of Crawford is evident. I don't know.
Yeah, man. It's just good that he's putting it on notice, that he's out here. I mean, look, at least we see Crawford. He going for the young guns, too. He wants anybody he can get. And I like that because, I mean, let's be honest. That top rank diet for a long time, he's ready. I mean, there's no more. You got to take out the young bulls, or you got to, we know who he's waiting around for and who he's really trying to call out. And at this point, I mean, I don't know, man. EJ, I don't know what's up with that dude. He's really ain't. I feel like he ain't responding. He's got nothing to say. And we talked about on the last show,
yesterday.
On the last show, we talked about. I mean, do we really want to see that fight right away, or do we want to see if EJ's really EJ first? But Crawford's out here not caring. He's out here. He's gonna get those fights. It's good to see that. I think he's showing Bob some shit. I think there's some stuff between them. All the shit that Bob talked about him, I think he's out to prove Bob wrong and so that he can promote himself.
Man, I am wondering, Because if you go on Ellie's page, there's another video of Regis narrating a video of him swimming and saying, Crawford was in the ocean looking for Earl. Well, I'm right here looking for Crawford. And it's like, bro, you in a private lake. They add fish to private lakes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's in a small lake in his backyard. So it's like, but I get him. I mean, I'm wondering, is this some side shit? Like, are they about to just pro bellum who has Regis? They did get, I don't know, did they get that MTK money and are they trying to do some Dubai, Regis and Crawford, and this is like the build up? Because if you look at Ellie's last 3 IG posts, 2 out of 3 are Regis. 1 of the 2, Regis got an ES News hoodie. And then, you know, all this stuff happened yesterday. And all those posts, there's like 4 Regis's posts there. Obviously, Ellie is known in the community. That's one way to get that narrative out there, the word out there, spread that, you know, we all seen it. We're all talking about it. Would you like that potential fight if that's an interim fight? Obviously, Crawford wants Earl. Earl, you know, we got to see what's up with the eye. Like I told you, he posted yesterday that this social media era, and I'm paraphrasing, but I'm pretty spot on. He says this social media era has people thinking their silence is like weakness. And he showed him a few pictures in the gym. Like, he's like, yo, dog, don't take my silence for like me not working. I'm out here getting right. That being said, people still want to make sure the eye is good.
They do, and I think he realizes that, and I find it hard that EJ doesn't think about that. You know, he got the surgery, that he's not thinking about how that eye is gonna hold up. Because honestly, you know, that's his career right there. Like, if the eye gets messed up or it's permanently damaged or becomes undetached again, yeah, I mean, his career's over. I mean, he's made a lot of money and whatnot. But, you know, he is right, though. Social media, let's be honest with you, social media is like 95% negative, 5% positive. People can interpret things the way they want to. I mean, I can be a motherfucking badass in social media, but if you see me in person and I don't got the same personality and I'm turned down, that's really what social media has done. I mean, Earl hasn't proven to us yet that he, you know, that he's going to fold. I mean, he's come out after the car accident, not even 100%, beat Danny Garcia. So I'm not too worried about his silence, but his energy in the last year towards the Crawford fight is pretty different. It makes me think that Earl's more the one avoiding and not Crawford. Because before, I used to kind of think Crawford, like, he don't want that. He's over there at top rank. But I'm starting to think that maybe the big fish doesn't want that fish.
Well, what's your prediction? You think that, you know, there's no shot for Barrios here versus Thurman, or are you giving Barrios some sort of shot to get a win?
At the end of the day, Thurman's been out of the ring for a really long time. I give him a, you know, I don't even want to say a puncher's chance because I don't want to say that he's going to be a huge puncher going up there. But, I mean, I think he has that chance. I mean, look how many upsets we've seen. There's been a lot of fights that were supposed to be tune-ups or not be that tough that were tough. So, I still think Keith will win, but, you know, I'll give it more of a 70-30 thing. I think there's a small chance if Keith's just not Keith anymore, he could get knocked off. But I would hope after this many years off, Keith is going to come back ready. I mean, you've been down to his gym and whatnot. What do you think?
I mean, last time I seen him, and you guys would know better what month and date that was, he looked good to me. You know, I don't need to lie. He looked good. He was sparring his only fighter. So, you know, that guy obviously doesn't get the cameras on him, so he was turned up. And I feel like Keith was turned up. I've said this already, whether or not he kept training as hard as he did that day, but that day he looked good, and he was sparring a 68 pounder, and obviously the 68 pounder is not going to be weighing 168 if you ain't got no fight. So Keith looked good, but again, that's not 12 rounds. It's not 12
Right.
rounds,
I mean, Barrios is active. I mean, that's the one thing he's got going for him. He's been active. Keith's been inactive. I'm starting to think now when I see these fighters who have a lot of inactivity, big name or not, coming in and fighting guys who are hungry and who've been really active, it just seems like it's not gone well. You got to train. You got to keep it up. You got to stay active. These guys don't want to get caught cold. But, I think it's still just a tune-up for Keith to set up for something different, something bigger. I'm just curious as to how much money they paid him to fight a Barrios.
Well, it should be a tune-up, but we've seen tune-ups go wrong.
Right. I mean, and they do. And lately, they've really been going wrong. I mean, Look at Mikey. Mikey just, man, he blew it.
He did.
But he's still going to get a bag, though.
Mikey, where is Mikey? He just let that happen, and,
I mean, these guys. I mean, even T.O. had personal issues outside the ring, but, man, even him, having all that time off, going through what he was going through, came in, tried to take dude's head off, and ended up getting dropped himself because he thought it was going to be, hey, I'm just going to go in here and knock this guy out and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Didn't work out that way.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted again. Hella messages today. It's crazy. But did you say you wouldn't mind Crawford Regis, or is that not a fight worth making?
No, I think it's a good fight. I really do. I don't know if I'd want to pay. Once again, I don't know if I'd want to necessarily consider that pay-per-view, but I do like that fight.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying Crawford Regis is pay-per-view, but let's be real. If Keith Barrios is, Crawford Regis probably is.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to argue with you on that. But yeah, no, I like that fight though. I mean, it kind of sucks because isn't Regis coming off the Josh Taylor loss, or has he had a fight in between then?
Didn't he fight like Red Catch on Triller?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you might be right. It's crazy, man. I was seeing Red Catch in person beat Devin Alexander, and then just to see him get his ass whooped the way it is now is crazy. Yeah, I think that's a good fight. I mean, Regis, Crawford, I mean, those are the type of fights we'd rather see. I mean, I'd rather see him with a young up-and-comer than, just some guy who used to have a name who isn't what they used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, Crawford's going to need a stay busy fight.
I mean, I guess Regis is better than Broner from a action standpoint, but I'd still think Broner brings more to the table.
Oh, his name definitely does. I mean, his name, his personality. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's been a while. Well, I shouldn't say it's been a while since he won a fight because he won his last fight. But, AB always sells a fight. Someone's always willing to pay some money because, I mean, he hasn't been stopped yet. He's always going to build the fight up, and people are going to tune in and watch him fight. Whether they like his personality, don't like his personality. I think that's a good dance partner, but I don't know if you got enough money to pay both those guys, AB is going to want a lot of money to fight Terence Crawford.
Possibly so, but I think it takes Crawford to the level that he needs to get to. With AB's, I don't think. I mean, I know what I know. You know, I can only assume that there's that possibility that AB changes his whole energy because he knows that Crawford is vicious in the ring. So whatever he says before the fight, he'll pay for during the fight. But if he ignores that and he gives us the normal Adrian Broner buildup, that's going to ignite something crazy in Crawford. It could be like Hank Lundy Crawford. And because it's Broner and not Hank Lundy, more people see it, obviously helping him, you know, grow in popularity.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Broner is. He's a ticket to the mainstream, you know. I just, money-wise, I don't know. You got to pay Terence, and you got to pay Adrian, and I think Adrian knows that it's more likely he might take a loss because he knows that the chips would be against him from the jump, that he would just be another stepping stone. And I think he'd want to be paid to be a stepping stone. You know what I'm saying? I think he understands the business enough to know I'm going in this fight. They're not going to expect me to win. So what am I getting for someone possibly putting a loss on my record and getting a win on theirs? And I think he's going to want to be financially compensated for that fact.
Yeah, man. He's going to want to be compensated because that would be, you know, probably a retirement fight. But Broner has a very good left hook. It would be interesting to see, you know, if he can land that. And if he does, you know, how Crawford takes it.
Yeah. I mean, he's a puncher. Like we know AB is a puncher. I just I don't know, man. He's been inactive. I mean, his last fight, I'm an AB fan. His last fight, I wasn't that impressed. You know, I mean, he doesn't let his hands go anymore. I mean, the last real good performance I seen from him, I feel like was like Eloy Perez.
Wow. You went back.
Yo, right, listen, bro.
He choked out Eloy and shit in the press conference. But nah, come on. Wasn't DeMarco after that?
Nah, listen. Remember when he fought Punch De Leon? He didn't even look that great.
Nah, I thought Ponce won that fight by 2 rounds.
You know, so that's all I'm saying is AB hasn't looked AB since, to me, like Eloy. I'm sorry. Like, that's the last just super dominant performance I feel like I've seen from him, where he really just dominated from the start, you know, to the end of the fight when he ended it. You know, and shit, Eloy like tested positive for cocaine and shit afterwards. Shit, yeah, Eloy was all G'd up in the ring.
Yeah, I remember that. It's funny because that's the undercard that Thurman Maidana was supposed to happen on, and fucking Maidana didn't take the fight, so Thurman ended up fighting what is it, Orlando Lazado or something like that.
Yep. But that's, you know, that is what it is. That's the only thing, like, I look at. Like, you can pull that name out, you can dust him off, you can pay him a bunch of money, but I mean, just for me, he hasn't had a really impressive win since then. You know, I mean, are we gonna call Theophane an impressive win? You know, I mean, I'm not.
Theophane, I mean, yeah, I will, because
it was impressive.
I remember Danny had a tough fight with Theophane early in his career, coming up on an undercard of like Floyd. Danny and Theophane fought, and it probably was on ESPN. And yeah, man, I mean, some people argue that Theophane might have won that fight.
Once again, a close fight, though, right? That's what I'm saying. Impressive. I said impressive win, like where AB was just dominant. You know, the AB, the 4-division champion AB. I'm just saying, like, he's not put on all these great performances since then. I mean, Sean Porter, he was getting dominated till he got, you know, till he showed that he could get the knockdown. You know, it is what it is. So if they can pay him, great. you know. But at the same time, do you think that AB beats Terence Crawford in any way, shape, or form? You think there's a possible upset?
It's a resume building fight. It's a popularity fight for him.
Right, but there's no possibility of an upset, right? Because I don't see Broner beating Crawford at all.
No. Absolutely not. After Crawford showed us that he could flip a switch, no. I think that anytime Broner has some sort of advantage, his trainer's going to tell him, and he's going to go into Hulk mode, and he'll just get you out of there.
Yep. Yeah, so that's how I look at that.
So you got
fight.
any sessions today, champ?
Any sessions? Yeah, my own.
Okay. So you're not training anybody else today, though?
Well, nah, I got boxing club later on tonight. Yeah. But nah, I don't got nobody else today, man. I just got me, myself, and I. And then some boxing training. We got the silver gloves on Saturday, so we're just tightening everything up. Plus, like I told you, man, I had my girl in the gym last night, so we teaching her. So
yeah, I know.
There's a lot of that.
Since you don't got an iPhone, I got to steal all your pictures from Facebook and put them in the Border Wars chat on the iPhone, showing Jose that y'all training and shit, so he don't slip up.
Nah, it's all good. Me and Jose had a nice conversation last night after the Border Wars show, so we got everything set up.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, man, I'm excited. Definitely excited, but I'm actually very excited for Thurman, man. I know people are not happy, and I understand that. I understand that, this fight right now, it's some sort of pay-per-view, so it's turning people off, But that being said, I still am excited to see Thurman back. I don't know about you.
Nah, I am. I'm a fan of Keith Thurman. I just want to see more of the old Keith when he was one-time Thurman. It's been a long time since
It's been a long time since he's acted like that, right? That's
right.
Crazy,
man.
I
just need that Keith. Even if I can get 70% of that Keith, I'd be happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. He hasn't been one time the knockout puncher in quite some time. And, you wonder when it's going to come back, At one point, it was the hand and, the marriage. It's just been so many things, too, man.
Right. I mean, he just needs to get back to more of that, the Keith that had all the fans, the ponytail, the dude that was actually, feared. I just want to see that. I think we're going to see him come back. I'm just hoping we see him shake the rust off, have a good fight. Because I'm not going to expect him to look great. But I expect him to look good. Good enough to warrant these other fights in the welterweight division. Because, let's be honest. What is Keith, 35?
Nah, come on. Is he? No way, bro. He can't be. He might be older than, he might be 33. Can you check? I'm actually doing something. Because he's got to be younger than Earl.
Yeah, we'll see here. Yeah, I always just think of him as older because they started the whole PBC thing. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's got to be older than Earl because Earl.
Nah, he was dead on 33. So I guess. But here's my thing. So he's 3 years till we consider him to be old for the welterweight division? Do we consider 36 old, or was Floyd is 36? You're still good. It's 37, 38.
30. It's hard to say because there's the Hopkins of the world. There's a lot of people that have fought on a high level past 36.
How many welterweights though?
Floyd is definitely one that comes to mind.
Floyd.
And even Randall Bailey, he's an older dude, but he kept that power and in a high level fight late in his career. Paulie, how old was Paulie? How old is he now? Because his last fights were at welterweight. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But obviously Paulie's, he did win the world title, second world title at welterweight in foreign country. He went to Ukraine and beat Sinchenko. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Sometimes you just get better with age because you know more. You know how to train better. When you're younger, you're learning from someone else. Then as you get older, you adapt and you to start knowing what works for you. And, we've seen, look, there's Foremans. Obviously, I'm naming legends with Foreman and Hopkins, but, before you become a legend, you're a fighter. So these guys, Thurman can prove that. I don't know, but I don't think 36 is old, bro. Do you feel that old?
Yeah. Feel old as fuck, man. Just because I look young, bro. Like, everybody thinks I'm a little younger than I am, but nah, bro. I definitely, the way I worked out in my 20s compared to like mid-20s, compared to mid-30s, mid to late 30s, like, nah, bro. Yeah, I feel older.
Wow.
Paulie Malignaggi is 41.
Look at that. He 41, man. He was out here fighting like Danny's at 36, bro. That's what I'm telling you, man. Like, 36 ain't old, man.
Yeah, he was out here collecting paychecks at 36. 37. You know what I mean?
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Hey, and I'm not even a Paulie hater, but like, for real though, that boy collected some checks.
I hear you.
Because listen, he's a name. We know he can box. He's tough. He's very durable. But everybody knows who steps up to 147. That's the first dude you fight because he's not going to hit you that hard. At the end of the day, he ended up becoming basically a gatekeeper or somebody's welcome to 147. If you could get past Paulie, you pretty much secured yourself some better fights.
That's an interesting comment that you make, Adrian, considering he was a world champion.
Yeah, well, he was a world champion. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, he's the dude who, like, if you come from 140 and you want to go up to 147 and you're good, you fight Paulie. Because if you can't beat Paulie, if you can't get a good win over him, 147 is going to be a tough division for you. Because if you can't take Paulie's punches or any of his boxing skill, then you don't belong at 147. And as a former champion, he is a gatekeeper at some point to get you to the next level. Look at the fight with AB versus Paulie. He didn't use that to go to 147 as an introduction. They made it a great fight. I don't even think AB won that fight. But
it's crazy. Paulie got a Al Heyman contract for the post fight because he felt he won so bad. That post fight, he starts spazzing like, what I gotta do? I gotta be with Al Heyman. I gotta fucking win. Yo, he was going crazy.
But yeah, no, it is what it is, and Paulie is who he is. You get credit for beating Paulie because he is a two-time champ.
Let's talk about the unthinkable. Because in boxing, nothing really is unthinkable, right? Like, it can happen is actually the phrase in boxing. What happens if Barrios beats Thurman?
Thurman's checks get a lot smaller if he ever comes back and fights.
Does Thurman do a rematch or does he just go off? Like, because the story still could be written like he was such a great fighter that unified when he was in his prime, got injured, married, and just never was the same. But if he keeps fighting and he loses to Barrio and then loses and, he ruins his legacy, in my opinion. If he loses to Barrio and he just wraps it up like, you know what? It is what it is. That'll be the story. Like, oh, he was on his the back end of his career just wasn't the same after the injuries in the marriage.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I think if you lose to Barrios, who's coming up from 140, I mean, unless you need the money, you sail off into the sunset and do you. You know, he's a good talker. He could be a commentator if he really wanted to be. Do guest spots here and there, stay in boxing, but like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to keep fighting and keep losing.
Would you be okay with a rematch? Like, and I mean, obviously, if they give this one on pay-per-view, the rematch is on pay-per-view.
I mean, if he loses, yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, we'll say the unthinkable happens, then he rematches him and then beats Barrios. Let's just say by decision, not by knockout. I mean, don't you just ride off into the sunset then?
I don't know.
I mean, you talking about
you just don't know you don't know what's gonna be offered at that point. You know, will they throw you a nice check to ride off into the sunset with Ennis or Virgil or Connor? Because they seen that you lost to Barrios, the 140 moving up. They still want that name. You're vulnerable.
Does Keith want to be that guy though? That's my thing. Has he taken care of his money so well that he can have it more like an Andre Ward where he's comfortable? He's like, no, I retired undefeated. I'm good. I don't need to fight anymore. No one's going to catch me past my prime. You know, boxing's not going to retire me. So to me, it's going to be about how he took care of his money. I mean, if you need more money, of course he's going to take those checks and fight those guys. But knowing that you're taking that check, possibly giving away a W to somebody and adding an L on your record, I don't know. It just depends on what type of person you are or where you're financially at, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you're a competitor, I think you come back. If you're a competitor, you know, you take your rematch. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hate that, you know, I seen Leonard Ellerby yesterday on Twitter say something very close, word for word, to, you know, we crazy on social media. Fights get made when they right for both the promoter and the network and the fighter. You know, they don't just get made. And it's like, bro, that's why we don't get no fights. That's why this sport is such a niche sport, because instead of a guy like Crawford turning around and fighting a Ennis or Virgil, you know, he wants the other dudes, which is okay. You want champions. But it's so unattainable with these guys. Like, it just seems like this division can't mix it up, man. Like, we got like, what, 2 years of nothing, right? I mean, Ugas fought Pacquiao instead of Earl. That's like a year ago. You know? Earl just fought Danny, not Ugas or Crawford. Crawford, you know, just fought Porter, not Earl or Ugas. It's just like, it don't feel like it's happening, you know? So, fuck, man. Move on to something else. That's good. I mean, the welterweight, something that's good, though, not Kavaliauskas. Like, why is Crawford Kavaliauskas ready or Canelo Callum ready, but not Canelo Charlo or Crawford Virgil? Like, I don't understand. Or rather, if you debate that, some people say Crawford Virgil is ready because of the fan base of Virgil, but not Ennis. I don't get it. Where I believe, or I want to believe, I don't even know if that's true. You know, people's always complaining about the best fighting the best, but we don't even know if that's true. Would the best fighting the best really grow the sport?
I think it would. I mean, listen, we got so many different belts, different versions of the belt. Now, I mean, you got to think about boxing back in history, like if we go way back before all these belts. You know, I mean, that's the only thing that, God forbid, UFC pretty much has over us. There's one real belt. That's it. Per weight class. Just one. So if you want to be the best, you got to go up there, and they have no control. You got to fight who they say you're going to fight. This is the next best dude. You're fighting him. It would be the best for the sport because it would force all these guys to take each other out. Because right now, you look at Charlo and all these different fights. Man, these dudes are sitting around. They're too afraid to fight another guy because it might mess up the big paycheck. When they don't realize if you just beat this other guy, you're going to guarantee yourself the big paycheck at some point. And that's a problem. Like the welterweight division, they all circling each other. This side of the street, that side of the street. Like at the end of the day, as a pure boxing fan, it's all bullshit. And the sport would be better if the best did fight the best. Because then whoever gets on top of the hill has to fight everybody who's coming for him. Instead of just sitting with a piece of the title and holding it over here and being like, nah, I'm going to fight this person and not you. We need to somehow get past that. And the problem is we might never get past that because it's always going to be business.
Supermax is saying, but that's why UFC loses fighters. They don't create new stars. They build the UFC brand rather than the fighters.
Listen, I'm with them. UFC is a fucking brand, right? There's MMA with a whole bunch of different organizations within it. But UFC is a brand. It's the most recognized one. It's like the Red Bull of energy drinks, but to the fight game. It's the most recognized and touted. But at the same time, they are making the best fight the best. Yes. If you're the best and you get rocked, your career could be over just like that in the UFC. But these guys have been building their careers before they get to where they're at. They have fans. If Canelo loses tomorrow, are you going to be less of a Canelo fan because he takes a loss? Or are you going to ride with that fighter because
I'm riding with him? I'm riding with him.
That's the problem with boxing. Like what? Because a guy loses, he's a bum at a high level? Look at how we talk shit about Keith. The only loss on the man's record is Manny Pacquiao. But in all reality, let's just be real. Our energy towards him is you're done. That happens a lot when guys take losses or even don't have impressive wins. So, at the end of the day, we just need to do away with all these belts. We need to get to a point where these titles start to get either unified for most of them or undisputed and have those guys just keep fighting. But, it's a business. So who wants to pay for this belt? Who wants to pay for that belt? This belt's important. This one's really not that important. It's working for the UFC, to be honest. Let's be real. Look at their pay-per-view numbers every month. It's not hurting their brand to have the best fight the best.
Well, that's what he's saying. The brand, not the fighter.
But we're talking about the brand of boxing. I don't give a fuck about whether it's Al Heyman or if it's Bob Arum or it's Oscar De La Hoya. I just want to see the best fight the best. I don't care about their promotion or whether it's a golden boy person or this or that. Or even, for a matter of fact, like, the WBC, this or that. Just have somebody collect all the belts. Let's just have a clear champion in each division instead of wondering and waiting and see if these guys are going to fight each other when they should fight each other. Come on, man. They pulled boxing from the Olympics, man, because of corruption.
But what about like Ward and Callum Smith? They went through these tournaments of the quote unquote best fight in the best. It didn't make them any more popular.
I know Andre Ward from the tournament, so I gotta disagree with you because that's how I know a lot of those guys from the Super Six.
You're hardcore, bro. You're a hardcore. Like you watched Broner Eloy Perez, bro. You're a hardcore.
But at the end of the day, like you still like, come on, man. Like I said, boxing is not gonna be in the Olympics because of corruption. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, we got to get back to the pureness of the sport, the best fighting the best, and get back to that. Like, we're never gonna completely clear the slate, but we got to do something, man.
Yeah. Let me open up these phone lines, man. See if anybody want to call in and join us on the topic we're talking. We gave our reaction. You could give your reaction officially. Obviously, we've never really talked about it in depth. We chose today to do that. Thurman versus Barrios and the possibility of it being real and on pay-per-view. And also Regis and Terence Crawford's confrontation, which can be found on Ellie Setback's Instagram. Go check it out. Give us your thoughts, body language, the words, everything, man. I just want to know, what did you think of Terence Crawford confronting Regis and Regis's wife, too, because she was defending. And, it was interesting, to say the least. Go check it out. Let me know what you think. You know the number to call in and voice that opinion, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, add Nestor Gibbs right here on Skype. And your quick Border Wars plug. Border Wars 14 happened in April 2nd. April 2nd. If you're interested, contact me on Instagram or Patreon. We are looking for all weight classes, obviously, at the moment. But Anthony Big Money Forbes in the Cruiserweight division is looking for a fight. I don't know the name of the Canadian, but he's a novice at 175, looking for a fight. Another Canadian heavyweight novice looking for a fight. OC, Oscar Williams. This is going to be the quick 5-minute Border Wars plug. Don't hate. Yo, so in the background, Mitty is saying he'll take either one of them, and it's official. So should we do Oscar, who the community doesn't know, or let Mitty take on Jerome, who's already fought 3 times with the community, so it's a more appealing fight? Or is it bad because Jerome's coming off a loss to jump in there with Midday, who used to be the king?
Man, I think they're both really good fights, man. I mean, I think a fight with Jerome would be good, man. Jerome's always going to throw punches. I mean, dude's got 2 stoppages at the end of the day. He's 2-1 with 2 KO, 2 stoppages. So that could be a good one. But man, OC, he's good, man. He's good. That'd be a good fight between him and Mitty. And I mean, I know that people don't know who OC is, but once he gets in there, they will know. So I mean, I think it's up to Mitty, right? Because he was the number 1 guy. So
I tried to get him to tell me, and his words exactly is, I said, would you prefer Jerome at 68 or Oscar at 60 or 68? I need to know, to let them know, as you're the A side, because you're 3-0. He's like, I don't prefer anyone. They both basura, B.
Well, yeah, that sounds like Mitty. So.
And he said I ain't no A side. So I said, okay. So he said whatever. So I'm gonna give him. Oh, man, I feel so bad. Should I just give him OC, who's already ready, or Jerome, who's more known?
I mean, but I think that there's more people that'll be ready to fight Jerome now. Before if he would got the victory over for Surefire D, I mean, you'd have had a hard time finding him a fight.
You think somebody's gonna fight Jerome?
Yeah, man.
Who?
I mean,
who in your mind is available?
I mean, Jerome can fight anywhere from I gotta look at the rankings. Like he can fight higher than 168, man. Jerome can fight at 175. He just makes 168. You know what I mean? So it's not like you can't put the man in another division.
Who at 175? Only dude tough enough for that would be Marvin. But anyway, that was your daily plug. Listen, hit me up. We already have 9 fights on this card, and they're all most of them are returning fighters, from the 9 fights. I will close out with that just so that, I give you that daily update and you know how big it is getting. So that being said, we got DeMarcus for Surefire D from Dallas taking on Corey Frank for the vacant 168-pound title from Beaumont, Texas. Corey Frank is from Beaumont, Texas. Second fight, we got Jordan Baker from Florida taking on Robert the Genius from New Jersey. Robert the Genius is your current cruiserweight champion, dropping down about 40 pounds to take on Jordan Baker. But he didn't fight last Border Wars, so he's been working since he won the belt. Last time, he sent me his way. He was already at 176. So he'll be well on his way. He's got another 4 months to go. And that will be for the vacant 160-pound belt. Then you got Terrell Fireflame Harris, who's changing his name to Hell Rell. He's going to be taking on Sean Mission Impossible Jones for the vacant heavyweight title. You got El Loco Sands, the Canadian 4-0 lineal champion, perfect record, putting it on the line versus yours truly, Adrian Rowan. Right here, the co-host, the coach is going down. They're doing a husband and wife duo. So Rebecca Kramer, the wife of Jose, will be taking on. What is your wife's first name? I've been calling her Ms. Rowan. Danny. He's going to be taking on Danny Rowan in our first ever women's match. It was supposed to be the wife of another co-host, but they ducked out. Next, we got Smoke 'em Out Jay versus Pablo ASAP. I'm going to go ahead and take the advice of DeMarcus. I'm not going to put Pablo in with LJ Dazn, and instead we're going to go ahead and solidify the Smoke 'em Out Jay fight versus Pablo and decide later whether that can be a mandatory, because it's dependent on what LJ does. If LJ decides not to fight again, obviously he's going to drop from the rankings, and these guys can be for a mandatory shot at the champion who will be crowned in the fight versus Rel and Sean. Then we got the return of Bishop in the cruiserweight division taking on Wisconsin's own Jason Hotsey. Also, the return of James Clark. He's going to be taking on Karma Surge, allegedly, unless Keem takes that fight with Karma Surge. But we also have now Coach Mitty, who we need to decide. I want the help of the community, man. Don't leave this only on me. I feel like the right thing to do is Jerome. He's more popular. But are we going to find someone for the 12 amateur fight veteran, Oscar Williams, who hails from Milwaukee? I don't know.
It's early, brother. It's early. I think everyone's thinking about Christmas right now. I think after Christmas you're gonna get a lot more people focusing.
I don't know how many people we're gonna be able to accept, bro. We already got 9 fights. That's
what you talking about, people. Bro? The last one in Wisconsin, what do we have, like 16, 15, 16?
No. You said that, but I think it was more like 13. At
the
most,
end of
11.
It was originally 16 till people didn't show up.
Yeah, we're talking about fights that actually happened. I think it was more like 11 or 13.
It was 13.
I wish
it was 13 because it was going down.
I wish 13. I wish it's 20. Look, don't get me wrong, and I get you. We talked about that. We talked about making a deadline sometime in the mid or third week of January, which still gives people like a good 60-something days to train if they're like late signups. But we do got to close the doors because look, we had 8 fights the last time, and that shit was like, it's a 4-hour video. Obviously, there was an hour of buffer. But look, it is what it is. I'm going to move on. I don't want to bore anybody who hates us talking about Border Wars, but we love it.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I'm ready!
That's right. So, let's do this.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
And if they're in the Wisconsin, Watertown area, let them know where they can find your boxing club, Mr. I Never Plug My Gym.
Yeah. So Old School Boxing Club, we are inside DEFCON. We are at 500 Bernard Street in Watertown, Wisconsin. 500 Bernard Street in Watertown, Wisconsin. Come check us out. The first week is free, just to check it out to see if you like it. And then after that, we can discuss your monthly rates. And we also have great sign-up packages. We'll give you the whole thing. The bag, the shirt, the gloves, the hand wraps, the headgear, the mouth guard. So, come check us out.
Damn. That's pretty dope. All right, we're going to go to boomerangs first, ringers, and all that good stuff. Let's do it. Coach J-Mac, Brandon, are you familiar with the topic?
Hello, ladies.
Anybody that knows me know I've been a player, whether it was in Alabama, Ohio, or anywhere around the globe.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
I've been smashing Telly Swifts, man. I didn't have to become a millionaire to get that caliber of woman. One of the people's choices, one of the fans' favorites, a guy that can galvanize this crowd such as myself.
He's too ugly to be the world champ. The world champ should be pretty like me.
The AJ of trucking.
What?
Yep, Brandon in Cincinnati.
SDS Promotions.
Yo, Ness, Adrian, top of the morning. What's going on, fellas?
Buenos dias.
How's it going, brother?
Hey, man, can't complain. About to get ready to hit the road, but yeah, man, I don't know why y'all surprised, man. Bud Crawford is the boogeyman of boxing. He pushed down on anybody, check your temperature. He don't care if you with your wife, your girlfriend, your grandma. He told that man, I'm gonna stop you in front of your wife. Can you imagine somebody telling me I'm gonna knock you out in front of my wife?
Nah, he said slap him around.
Yeah, and Regis smiled and shook his hand and laughed it off. Like, damn.
I know, that was crazy.
He the boogeyman of boxing, man. That little black nigga ain't nothing to play with. But as far as Keith Thurman and Barrios, it's a shitty fight. I ain't buying that shit. Fuck him. Fuck Al Heyman. Charging people for all this garbage. Say what you want about Don King, but boxing died when Don King stopped being the main promoter in boxing. The issue is you niggas fell in love with fighters more than y'all like love boxing. So y'all glad it's your favorite boxer making good money with Al, but you get shit fights in the process. So if you want boxing to come back, let's bring back Don King. All them type of promoters who made the best fight the best. They might have didn't get paid as good, but they always fought the best. So fuck Al Heyman if he gonna charge us for this garbage. That's my call.
One of the fighters is gonna lose, and no matter what, Don King's gonna win.
That's the way it's supposed to be. It's in America, man. That's enterprise. I didn't write the rules. I revolutionized the pay scale in boxing. I paid fighters more money than anyone in the history of the sport.
That is a true fact.
You know what I mean?
That has been done.
So only thing I could be guilty of is hitting them in the head with $100 bills, giving them dignity, pride, and a lot of money. So now whatever it is more than what they could get from any adversary of mine. Otherwise, they wouldn't be with me.
Shout out to Bo and Bama. You know, he keeps Don King's name alive around these parts. And, shout out to this community, man. I keep forgetting the name. I think it's Prime Mortgage. Shout out to Keem and his family with Prime Mortgage. They helped me with my home here in Florida. And, Bo might be helping me with something else, yo. And it's just crazy. Like, my whole community. One dude did my taxes one time. Like, it's crazy. This podcast is just like an octopus, but it's a network, man. So many people in this community that do so many different things. It's insane, and hopefully Bo can help me with the next chapter in my life, and I can, congratulate him and thank him on air. And he can make some money with me too, some commission, just like Keem's family, man, because it's one hand washes the other, man. You support me, I support you. So if you are looking for any sort of mortgage and or just real estate, his mother does real estate, the father does the mortgages, contact William Crespo. You can hit up Keem or myself for the direct phone numbers. Yeah, man. Shout out to this community. I'm just very grateful, man. I'm going to go to my next caller, Boomeranger, courtesy of Jordan Baker. That is J-Mac Attack. Are you available?
Yo.
All right, so Doomy hitting me up on the side, and he's saying it's also Olympus Realty. Shout out to Doomy, always listening, even though he never shows his face. Call him Big Face. It's Primary Residential Mortgage. That's why I was saying Prime. I thought it was just P-R-I-M. All right, so it's Primary Residential Mortgage and Olympus Executive Realty. Google them. They are official. This is not an advertisement because this is testimony, right? They actually did a fantastic job. J-Mac, chill. I'm still giving Keem's family.
Oh, my bad.
I'm still giving Keem's
You
family
didn't acknowledge
a shout
me.
out. I got you, champ. You are the man.
So you hating?
I'm that guy. What you want to bet on? Bet 100,000 on that. Let's bet $1 million. You getting that money, right? Easy. Let's bet $1 million easy. And I for the bread. When I him, y'all gonna say he was too weak on my life.
Okay, bow down, bitches. I'm about to handle business. I'ma teach you all a lesson. This'll only take a minute. Got a part and all this passion in my blood. Niggas hating just because. Think about it. Everybody love Bud. J-Mac, where you at? Where you at? All these niggas hating on me. Shit is whack. So official with it. Don't check the stats. Hey, I'm out here trying to get it. Next, I only got a minute. Get ready for the back attack.
Yo, my bad, Ness. I've been having connection problems. So
good,
when
champ.
you didn't say that you heard me, I didn't know if you heard me. So my bad. Shout out to Keem. Oh, what up, Adrian?
What up?
Shout out to Keem. Showfire D, and is Ken V fighting too?
I hope so. I got LJ the Don for him, man. That's a nice fight.
Okay, well I ain't gonna speak on his behalf, but I'll let him talk for that. But if them three fighting, I'll be at the next one.
Beautiful.
Sign some autographs, have some face to face with people I've been dying to meet and stuff. So, you know how it is. But nah, man. On the topics at hand, I heard y'all talking about boxing. Boxing should go back to where it don't matter about popularity. It matters about the best fighting the best. All that shit's gonna work itself out. You got champions in nowadays saying they're the best. I mean, excuse me. You got guys that consider themselves popular, saying they're the best because I guess they think they're a star. But they have champions in their weight class and they choose not to fight those guys or what have you. Boxing is turned into a smuck. It's a smuck of a sport. Like you could just talk good shit and have fans instead of fighting. For as Bud fighting Regis, I don't want to see that bullshit. But I don't want to see Josh Taylor leftovers. And for as Keith and Barrios, I ain't buying that shit because it shouldn't be on pay-per-view. That's my first call.
CYP, counterpunch.
Yo. Good morning, everybody. Listen up. Listen. When I was a young man, Roy Jones Jr. got me into boxing. When I was a young man, Jerry Rice got me into football. When I was a young man, Scottie Pippen got me into basketball. Individuals always bring people to the sport. So to think that boxing now should be different, where they shouldn't boost individual stars to get revenue, to get people's eyes on it, to grow the sport, you just forgot what it was that got you into the sports that you like. Boxing by itself without no stars is not even a big sport. You need people with polarizing figures. You need Deontay Wilder's, Tyson Fury's, AJ. You need Thurman's. You need people like that on that. You need Floyd. You need Canelo's. Without those individual names, ain't nobody watching this shit. Y'all seem to get confused with dudes was fighting like cockfights back in the day when they were just trying to make a little bit of money and the promoter was raping them. Now these dudes got more advantage of their career, can make more money, and now y'all mad. But the truth of the matter is, it ain't about y'all. It's always been about how much money you can make and how popular the sport can be. So you always gonna see them guys. CYP out.
Troy, Intrigue, Boomerang.
Where the fuck we wanna go to? We jumping city to city, country to country, no matter
Where we go, all the female want me. We jet set, jet set, jet set, jet set, jet set, jet set. We jet set. We jumpin' city to city, country to country, no matter where we go, all the female want me. Jet set, jet set, jet set, jet set, jet set, jet set, jet set.
What's good, man?
What up?
What's going down?
What's good, Adrian? Yeah, man. Nah, I'm excited. You know what I mean? Everybody had, been talking like, man, when Thurman coming back? He ain't coming back. He just need to fight at this point. He just need to fight somebody, anybody. Then when Barrios come up, oh, that ain't good enough. Oh, that's a shit fight. That's that. And it's a tune-up. You know what I mean? Thurman about to knock this dude out with a body shot. Y'all remember I said it. He too tall. He about to do him like he did Julio Diaz. He might break his ribs, man. Thurman gonna make a show. And I want him to do good so we can see that Bud versus Thurman in the summertime. But J-Matt, Brandon Maurice, man, I thought we was good. I thought we had a little peace treaty going, man. All the shitty fights I bought and paid for Bud, and y'all ain't gonna support my boy Thurman in this comeback fucking tune-up fight. Come on, man. We better than that. I'll come back on my next one.
All right. We got the big fish, Alex Vega.
Good morning. I think this Thurman fight with Barrios, it's a good fight for Thurman. Guy that's been on pay-per-view, moving up. I mean, the only thing that stinks is, it's on pay-per-view, so I can see why people are giving a lot of pushback. I definitely don't want to have to pay for it, but I definitely want to see what Thurman can do with a guy like Barrios who fought Gervonta. Hopefully he'll look good and we can get him in with Bud or with Earl, if Earl ever accept the fight. That's it. That's all I got, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Sorry for the pause, man. I'm hitting up the venue. They're hitting me up. Keem the Dream, Florida. Damn.
Keem probably at work, brother.
Keem is always at work. But I was thinking, I just can't help but think Border Wars right now. We on that Border Wars high, so y'all gonna hate us. But I'm just wondering, like, Keem and Lambert? Mitty and OC? Or do I do... Because I feel like ain't OC over 40? He looked 40.
Yeah, he's like 43, 44. Yeah.
I figured he was a little older. Troy, Baltimore.
Hold on. I got you on speaker.
We can't hear you, fam.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just real quick, I've been listening to so many different things. As far as boxing, getting it back to where it needs to be, names will get you into the sport, but they won't keep you because you need good competition, and that's what brings in the people and the money and keeps all the lights on, keeps everything running. Just a simple analogy. You have a fine woman, and that's all she is she's fine, but you can't hold a conversation with her. She's not going to be able to keep you for too much longer if you're a real man. If you're a real man, then you get a woman that's decent looking who will keep who will hold a competition and help you build, and that's how you build. It's the same thing applies to boxing. Just that simple. Names are names, but you need the competition to keep the people coming. Just that simple. Y'all have a good day, man.
So you agree with Adrian's best fighting the best? That's what you're saying?
That's the way it's always been in all sports, brother. The best fighting the best. I don't care if it's basketball, football, or whatever.
Why is it that the promoters seem to believe that fights have to be at the right time. Like, why does no promoter want to take the chance on someone versus Ennis?
That's an old adage that you have to build something up, which is true to some extent. You have to build, some anticipation for it. Once it hits that peak, boom. But who's to say when the peak is? We are. Anytime you have the people saying now, that's when you hit. That's when you strike. And that's what this sport forgot. So, damn, I feel good today. I'm gonna do my own show today. All right, y'all have a great day, man, and bless up to everybody. Oh, and White will be undisputed. White will be undisputed. Yes, sir.
Speak it, believe it, receive it, man. Never knock a man. You believe that.
That's coming from D Hawk in Maryland, right?
What?
That's coming from D Hawk in Maryland, right? D Hawk in Maryland that makes the spot on prediction.
That's Troy in Baltimore.
All right, okay.
Troy in Baltimore. Looks like we got St. Louis Red. What up?
What's going on, family? I just wanted to get more of your perspective on why do you feel the best shouldn't be fighting the best, Ness?
Oh, I ain't never say they shouldn't. I'm just saying these promoters act like they shouldn't. Like when I talk, I think Lou was on here. We was trying to talk about Crawford and Ennis since Crawford's a free agent and he ain't got to wait on. And he's like, nah, nobody's gonna do that because it's too soon. Nobody's gonna buy that, and it's just like, why? Why? That's the best fighting the best. Like, that is a good fight, but it's not a talked about fight.
I think it's a great fight. I think the best should be fighting the best, like bro said, in every sport. That's what we see. That's what it should be. I think, to your point, the reason why you have people trying to build fights and all these different things is because of the division. If there was one champ, if there was one guy, there wouldn't be a fight to build. Like, everybody would be striving to get to that point. It'll be the time once you make it up there. Once you get to the top of the hill, it'll be your turn and your time. So the reason why we have to build fights is because everybody's trying to have their own hill. You know what I mean?
I just feel like we lose them. Like, for instance, we've pretty much lost Keith versus Earl, and we might lose, Ennis versus Thurman, Ennis versus Crawford, Ennis versus Spence. Ennis versus Ugas, because all those guys want to keep their eyes on each other.
Facts. It's the Mayweather versus Pacquiao. The problem is, like you said, we're losing so many different fights. We may get them eventually, but it's not the fight that it once was because our sport is jacked up. But that's my time.
All right. Hey, Adrian, is this you in the gym with Chino and OC in this picture or no?
Yeah, that's the three of us.
That's old or new?
Nah, that's old. That's old, but that's how it's gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Like we all get together, spar, train together, put in rounds. So, like I said, this time around it's gonna be different, man. I'm gonna have a whole camp just getting trained. Cause I'll be honest, as a coach, it's tough to train. I got class 4 days a week where I gotta focus on other people for 3 to 4 hours at a time. So, that's a lot of my week. So I gotta take time to focus on myself and to have somebody hold the mitts for me, work on shit with me. So that's going to be different this time around, and I look forward to it. But, yeah, that's how we get down, man. We get together, we schedule sparring sessions, and we work with each other.
I got a counterpunch from J-Mac and a super chat from Mark Nash that says, is Barrio a tune-up for Bud or a paycheck? Nah. Barrios is a fucking paycheck. That wouldn't be a tune-up. We got a counterpunch from J-Matt.
And bro, I sent it. I forgot. I think it was a point of.
You sent it at 10:36. It's only 10:39.
No, I had to remind you because I've been sitting in the chat. I sent it as soon as the Intrigue said his comment. We are good in Intrigue, but you gotta understand, I just can't pay per view. I'm not paying for that. Like, they put anything on pay-per-view and they think I'm going to just pay for it. I just went through paying for all those fights at the end of the year that was pay-per-view worthy. Keith and Barrios is not a worthy pay-per-view fight. Bud and Keith is a pay-per-view fight. Bud and Keith and Arrow is a pay-per-view fight. Like, I'm not paying for that, so don't get it twisted. For as I think Troy said some great stuff for us. The best fight and the best. That's what it come down to. I think promoters. Oh, let me answer your question. That's what I wanted to say. Ness. You asked why do promoters stall fights? Because at the time of their fight, they want to get the best money out their fighter, but they want to make sure their fighter is ready to actually take those step up fights. So if they got a big name fighter, but he not ready to take them step up fights, that's where you got marination. If they want to make money off this fight and get as much money, that's where you got marination. So the business of boxing is the thin line between getting in the way of making the best fights, because the business is going to always refer back to the money, and the competitive side gets pushed to the side. So boxing does need to go back to a structure to where the best are fighting the best. And I think everything will work itself out. For as you having fan favorites of who you're a fan of, if you're a fighter, if you could be a fan of him, he just may not be the best. And that's just fine. But fighting and proving it in the ring should go back to what is what makes the best being the best. That's my counterpunch.
Yeah.
All right.
The business always gets in the way. I agree with that.
Yeah, man. We didn't get Juanma Lopez versus Gamboa because of the business of boxing and the marination, and it's not ready. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
And listen, too many times have we had something over marinate to when it happens, we don't get what we wanted, or it just doesn't happen at all. Especially now, look at all these upsets. Anytime these guys take a L, we sit there and we get pissed off and like maybe still don't want that fight because that fight doesn't mean what it used to mean. Even though as a fight fan, somebody who watches fights, I just want to see good fights. But like when the best do fight each other, they lose. But they come back to fight each other again, somewhere if they can stay in the top, 5 to 8 in the division. I mean, it's ridiculous. And as fans, we've completely accepted this for a really long time. And it's not something that can be broken right away. But at some point, it's the fans that need to dictate that we want to really see the best fight the best. Because the only way anything changes is if you affect the money. If you can't affect the money, nothing ever changes.
St. Louis Red counterpunch.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot about Thurman Barrios. I want to say we can't say that styles make fights and then throw fighters away for losing. Great fighters are proven by fighting the best, not being undefeated. We need to do away with that undefeated nonsense. It's not relevant. Fight the best. That's what it's about. But in terms of Thurman versus Barrios, my question for the panel was, obviously Barrios is a common opponent of Gervonta. Is this Keith Thurman trying to show that it was disrespectful to even mention his name with Gervonta? Or is Gervonta still an opponent? Still a possible opponent, I should say.
I hope Gervonta's still a possible opponent. I never disliked that fight. And yeah, Thurman should take that approach in the press conference to justify this shit, because don't nobody want him fighting Barrios, so that's the best way to justify it, is be like, his promoter said, they could beat me, so I'm going to beat the shit out of this dude who's a common opponent. All right.
And one thing I want to say, man, is like, let's just say that Keith stops Barrios, and let's just say that Tank and Keith happens. Let's say Keith stops or beats Tank really bad. Does Keith really get all the credit in the world for beating a guy who's, best at a lower weight class? I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, if we go forward, I mean, does he really get credit for that win if all the moon, stars, and the sun aligns and that can happen? I mean, do you give him credit then for beating a smaller guy?
Yeah, man. It depends how good he looks. It depends how good he looks, in my opinion. But I got a super chat from Troy Graham that says, White will be undisputed. Should we start considering that? I don't know. I mean, there are rumors that White did knock down Fury in sparring.
I mean, it's the heavyweight division, man. I think once you get up to a certain skill level, I mean, bro, it's one punch away. You're always one punch away.
Wouldn't that be crazy though? Like if Wilder couldn't beat Fury, but White could.
Yeah, it would be. But I mean, like I said, it's that division. I mean, all it takes is a good shot landed, and that could be it.
Yeah, we got Big Super Mex. What's up?
BoxingWords.com. Oloki, you are next, my friend. Por eso lo vuelvo a repetir. La era del Canelo la mejor porque peleó con los mejores. La suerte es para los mediocres, my friend.
BoxingWords.com.
Yo, what up, man? What up, Adrian? How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great. We're doing great. How you doing, Max?
Back to the grind, man. Back to working and delivering these house packs. So, Adrian, I do agree with you, but I also agree with CYP. You have to have a star that can draw you in. Like you said, you know, I grew up watching Ray Lewis and Junior Seau, and that's when I started to love football. I grew up watching Oscar De La Hoya, and that's where I really started following boxing. Oscar De La Hoya in his last 8 fights is like 4-4, but he did fight everybody. So you do got to have that star attraction. But I think when you get to a certain level, you do have to start fighting everybody. I think, you know, and it's a disrespect to Mayweather. It's the Mayweather effect, but it's not his fault. We just don't think there's a greatness. Everybody wants to be undefeated, and there's only one sport. That's only going to be a once-in-a-lifetime type of deal. You know, so I think with your top stars, you do guys fighting the best sooner, but this is nothing new to boxing now. If you watch the 14th documentary, we didn't get even Thomas Hearns and Ray Leonard as soon as we wanted. Hagler Leonard took 5 years. You know, it's a lot. It's nothing new to boxing. It's been happening a long time. But that's my call, man. Also, hey, Barrios is a live underdog, man. I'm not gonna pick him to win, but I think he's a live dog versus Keith.
All right.
Ness, I gotta take off, man. I gotta go actually train, cause I'm gonna train unlike my opponent. I know he ain't gonna train that hard, but I got some miles and some road work to put in. I gotta do me.
All right, champ. You better get that win.
Then a shout out to Dolla. Thank you. I'm not gonna say what it is on air, cause I know someone's listening, but thank you for taking care of me, man. If you need anything custom, definitely go through Dolla. He took care of your boy. But yeah, DEFCON Old School Boxing Club. You can find me at Black Man Jones on Instagram. Y'all have a good morning, man.
All right. Info Joe is a beast. Better check box red.
Let's go! Smoke with you. Come on. Info Joe is a beast. Checkbox red. Undefeated punchlines. Better place your bet. The #1 call. Fought my way up the ranks. Border Wars fighter going hard in the pain. Boxing scene writers call me spectacular.
Yo. Good morning, TBV.
Buenos dias.
What up, Ness? Shout out to the community. First off, CYP, good call, brother. You know, I think the marination is fucking up the sport, man. And Hearns and Sugar Ray fought. I think they were both under 30 in their 20s. I think about 25, 26 years old. A lot of these dudes in the welterweights are touching 30. And it would be good to see these guys fight in their prime like Hearns and Sugar Ray did. As far as the Thurman fight, I like Thurman, man. Good to see Thurman back. I don't like the opponent, but he does need a tune-up. but I don't think it should be on pay-per-view. It should have been on Fox, regular TV. I think we do have too many pay-per-views this year, and this one should not be on pay-per-view. But I would love to see Thurman back. I think he's good for the sport when he is fighting. But that's all I got. Everybody have a blessed, no stress day, man. Peace, fam.
All righty then. Thank you, Info Joe. And it looks like we're going to, is this Marcus? I'm pretty sure this is Marcus, right? Yup. Marcus in DC. What up?
What's good, Boxing Voice? One more show without Info Joe. Let me get to this real quick. But the dude I think came on talking about, oh, Roy Jones was the person when he came into his career that he started following people. It's because Roy was in meaningful fights. At the end of his career, a lot of times, boxing is an exhibition sport. I don't know why y'all understand it. Promoters get a guy that they make money with, and they run them about 20 fights. And then the last 4 or 5 fights in your career, it's usually when you fight the people where it's a 50-50 fight. Keith Thurman is going into this fight. Look at the 2 people they tried to match him with, Adrian Broner and Barrios. Why? They're 140s who never, either one has never fought at 147 and a 140 who never really seemed right at 147 because they don't know what they have with Keith anymore. And after they get to this fight, the honest the truth is Keith could lose to any of the other welterweights that y'all potentially want to match him with, even after this warm-up. And they know this. They know this. He's a Zen dude. He's happy as fuck. He drives a Prius. They trying to get these last 2 little goodies out of him. If anybody should fight in it, it should be Thurman. He's the one that has to prove something, like to get back in that upper echelon, to be treated kind of like how Yordenis Ugas wants to be treated, right? Because at the end of the day, when we thought Erickson Hammer Lubin, right, was ready, he got terminated in 1 round. So all of us think Jaron Ennis is ready. He beat a Lipinets. The Lipinets was a 140. But wouldn't you want to see an Ennis-Thurman match? Thurman comes back and says, hey, you lost to Pacquiao 19, 1 time's back, 1 time's this, 1 time's that. Show us by beating this up-and-coming prospect. Up-and-coming prospect, fight this dude. We don't know if you're ready for champions yet. Fight this former champion. If you get this dude, then, man, we'll start talking about you in the upper echelon of fighting. Reason why promoters don't make fights? Bro, if you fight a dude and that dude loses, you lose the ability to market him any further because we're in a one-loss era, okay? So, yeah, a promoter's going to run their fighter for 20 things on parallel lines with other promoters with their fighters, and at the very last end, when nowhere else, how my man say in the movie, when you can't make another dollar out of it, when you can't do anything else with it, you burn it. The only time we're going to get these fights, you're not going to get that Ray Leonard or Hearns when they're young anymore. It doesn't work for the promoter. You're going to lose a project that you could have got 15 more fights out of Milk before you fought a dude like that. Until we as the boxing public stop buying the pay-per-views on pay-per-views that are not really worth a pay-per-view, they'll keep shoving it to us. This is an exhibition sport under the guise of a competitive sport. It's not a competitive sport. It's an exhibition sport. It's entertainment, as they say. That's what it is. Don't get your panties in a bunch. You know what I'm saying? You want to do that? Stop paying for the fight. Only pay for the good fight, like me. You know, and then you might get something. Other than that, you're going to get promoters that get a talent, and they're going to keep that talent pretty safe. They're going to run them to 20. They're going to have all these knockouts. And then when they fight opponents where it's a 50-50 fight, they won't get the knockouts anymore. And then you'll see the fight. But, I mean, is this not what boxing has always been? Has boxing not been building a fighter up? And then we either find out that the fighter was full of shit when we match him well, like a Joey Gamache. Think about how long Bernard Hopkins mired in obscurity. He fought Robert Allen, 5 times? He fought all Don King fighters. It wasn't until he got into that tournament with Keith Holmes, Joppy, and Trinidad that we really started giving him his respect. And that's when he started matching against people where it was meaningful. After the Roy fight, the average person can't tell you anybody Bernard fought. You can't, because there's nobody there. They were just trying to run him up. So, I don't know. I don't know what people thinking was going on. When you get the good fighters and they give you good fights, that's when you become a fan. Terence Crawford is boogeymaning everybody. This ain't the first time. I think, Ness, you posted the first time when he was talking to Regis boys, and he said, if y'all really think Regis is that dude, bring him up to 147, I'll stop all that noise. And basically went in front of his wife and told him to say, hey, stop. checked her and said, hold on. You know what I'm saying? XYZ. And I told him if he want that smoke, come to 147. What did Regis do? Give him a pound and keep it pushing. Y'all know what Boogeyman is out there. We ain't calling him Bud no more. Terence Boogeyman Crawford. I'm out. Appreciate the extra time. That's my man.
Marcus, DC. Listen, man. That was history, you know. We talk about Bernard's 20 title defenses, but can we name them? Yeah, no. But yeah, man. The Boogeyman. It's funny. Every fighter gets their turn, or not every fighter, but fighters. Some fighters get it. Not everybody. Oh my God. You know what I'm trying to say. Every now and then someone gets that label, bro. I remember Gennady had that label. Like people get that Boogeyman label. It's funny, but it's good when it's fitting, you know, when a dude's really taking people out. You know, I mean, he kept his knockout streak going with Porter. That was impressive. We got a super chat from Ronald Finkley that says, Crawford can stop Spence. Also, just takes one good shot on Spence's chin. The downhill from there. I mean, I guess that goes for anybody, though. One good shot on anybody's chin, you know? We got the Axiom, who says, best day of the week is TBV Thursdays. Happy holiday to TBV family. Happy holiday to yourself, champ. Shout out for rocking out. Jaime Nieto says, preach, Adrian. These dudes letting Floyd's O dictate their career. They don't want to fight the best. They're protecting that O, and that's ruining boxing. Yeah, but do you know why? Because look, Keith Thurman lost to Pacquiao, and you guys call him a bum, and he's washed up, and all these other reasons. You know, you got to treat boxing like Floyd did, because it's the fight fans, man. They're horrible. They forget you so quick, man. You know, and if you don't have that O, to some of them, you're worthless, man. It's sad. It's the way of this this generation, I guess. Because all the greats of the past had losses, man. It's this generation, you know, the pre-Floyd, the post-Floyd generation that loves the O and doesn't want to let it go. Unlike Thurman, whose slogan has always been, I got an O, I'm not afraid to let it go. You know, and he showed that. You know, he's the one that fought Danny first and Porter first, or rather second after Brook, and Pacquiao first amongst all the young guys. So, you know, he showed that. We got Rich Mendez. He says, I was going to fight, but it seems that too many Canadians involved. I don't want to be criticized as doing the Canadian tour. Whatever, Rich. Whatever, Rich. How could you be doing a Canadian tour if you sign up the Border Wars and fight one Canadian? First of all, how do you even know you're going to be matched with a Canadian? I'm lost here. But we got DW that says, Ness, you watching Brown versus Better Beef this weekend? Yes. Friday, you mean Friday. That's like in tomorrow. Definitely watching and seeing what my boy Marcus Brown can do. Been following him since he was an Olympian. You know, watched his debut on on Showtime. So, yeah, man, definitely interested in seeing what he's gonna do. Uh-oh. Let me cut the line. We got a counterpunch for J-Mac from Izzy in Oklahoma. Izzy, we fucking missed you, man. You're like, what's up, bro? You used to be like always at Border Wars, man. We need you back. Damn, you would have been proud to see what it looked like this last Saturday. J-Mac, counterpunch from our good friend Izzy. They love you in these streets, man.
No. Shout out to Izzy, man. Izzy's a solid dude. Always been solid from day one since we first met. Shout out to Marcus. That was a great fucking call. I ain't gonna lie. Panties in a bunch. I don't know who he was talking to when he said that, but I respect it and shit like that. But he definitely gave a great call, and he's very knowledgeable. And I remember when I used to listen to him right before I started calling, and he always gave some knowledgeable calls and was real balanced. But boxing is a like he said, is a sport, but the business is running the sport too much more than the actual competition. He said it is an expedition, but it is still a competitive sport. That's why we watch it. I mean, at least that's why I'm watching. I don't watch wrestling because wrestling is fake. I watch boxing because I grew up doing it, and I actually love to see improve who's the best fighters and weight classes and what have you. But boxing doesn't. The fans need to get back to taking over the fights and making sure we're paying for the right pay-per-view fights instead of putting bullshit on. That's my call.
Champ. Who we got? Hawk in Maryland. What up?
Oh, yo, what up, Ness? How you doing this morning?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got me? Okay. The Terence Crawford Regis thing. Now, I saw that jump off they had, but I don't want to see that fight. Thurman and Mario Barrios. What's kind of funny to me is, first of all, what TYP said is true, bro. Certain athletes bring people to the sports. It's the athletes got to keep you there. And I don't believe that if you have a loss, I know how the boxing fan put people there, like if you have a loss, now you they're done and all that. No, Adrian Broner already proved that you can have a loss if people keep coming. It's the athlete, how you are, how your audience, how you treat your audience, how you are. If you're real to your personality that you gave your audience, they'll keep coming to see you if you have a loss. But sometimes they put these fighters in too soon, like with Tito Trinidad and Fernando Vargas. Vargas would have been a pretty good fighter, but Tito took him out. They took him out early. And you got Gerald McClellan, and he fought Nigel Benn. And he never stood up again after that fight, but because he got hit in the head, the back of the head so much. But Gerald McClellan would have been a superstar to this day if that had never happened. So sometimes they put these fighters in a little too early. But as far as people thinking Keith Thurman just gonna walk through Barrios because of what they saw with Tank, I'm a Keith Thurman fan. But stop counting these fighters out before they even get in the ring. You don't know what Barrios' dreams are. You don't know if he come here to win. He ain't coming this to see Keith win. So just counting the fighters out, I think, is a bad move too. But what I was about to say, Keith Thurman, he I don't know. I'm not paying that for. I don't know if I'm gonna pay for a pay-per-view if they got it up at 60 and 70 for that fight. But I wouldn't count Barrios out. So just counting out the other fighter is ridiculous to me. I think Barrios got just as good a chance as any other fighter in there with Keith. And I want to see the fight, but if they talking $60, $70 and stuff like that, I can't do that one again. I think we still got 2 more pay-per-views coming up for this year over. But anyway, the fighters can keep the fans coming and watching them if they just got a certain personality that attracts them to certain fans to them. You can have a loss. Adrian Broner already proved it. But that's my call.
All right.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay Showtime to see you all there, not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see 2 motherfuckers just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that sport, my dude? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next. You want a great show? Thumbs up, donate.
Yo. Yo, listen. Marcus from D.C. If I'm ever I'm out of pocket, my nigga, just slap me silly. You got the greatest call of the whole year right there. Lava from Volcano. Yo, shout out to Info Joe, greatest caller of all times. No doubt about that. But Marcus just murdered that, bro. That was some killer-ass call, brother. Holy shit, my king. Bow to your greatness, brother. Shit. He said it all there, nigga. He said it all. Anyways, yo, what's up with your boys fucking on PVCness? What's going on with this pay-per-view? Did the pay-per-view kings down?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They pumping all these battles on my tab.
That's what
they
PBC
want to pump all these battles on you.
That's what PBC stand for, pay-per-view boxing champions.
Yo, man, they ain't going nowhere with that shit. Did the Ortiz shit already passed? Did that pay-per-view already pass?
December 1st.
How the shit did?
No. January 1st. Excuse me. January 1st. I said the wrong month.
Oh, so they got all these shits already lined up?
Line them up.
Nah, man. Yo, listen.
Line them up.
Baby, come on. We always heard about rumors of they being in trouble. But this is a real fucking tangible signs right here.
Really?
How the fuck you got all these pay-per-views? Nobody had put these many pay-per-views back to back, all these bullshit ass names.
Really? I don't know, man.
Who lined up that many pay-per-views before in history?
Man, everybody does this shit.
Who? You crazy? Nobody. Who? No with those names. No with that.
What?
Bro, you tripping. Stop defending. That's what they call you, Capitron. That's what you go from the boxing article.
Bro, Bob Arum used to go straight to pay-per-view. He didn't even use HBO. Like, there was a time where HBO would say no, and he would still put it on pay-per-view without him. What are you talking about?
No. Okay. You just see this right there. Now you capping.
All right, I'm capping. But
not on that rate.
Listen to me.
Not on that rate. Between 3 months, 3 pay-per-view. Bob never did. Between 3 months, 3 pay-per-views.
All right, I'm capping.
Bottom line.
You can Google John Duddy, Julio Cesar
Chavez.
You
can Google. Yeah, that's your friend. Yo, everybody out there, support the channel, donate. This is the greatest boxing show ever. Nothing for the people, by the people, man. Gotta love TVB. I'm out.
Don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit.
You know it. Go fucking Google it, bro. John Duddy. Julio Cesar Chavez. See where that was at. Was that HBO or was that Top Brain pay-per-view, bro? They get it done without you, man. They get it done. Uh-oh. What James did? He Googled that shit? He said, yes, sirski, whatever. Told you. Come on, fam. People do this shit all their life, man. And I bet you if you fucking check Don King's track record, he was having pay-per-views often, man. When you got the inventory, you got the inventory, man. Javier Anaheim.
Hey, Ness, just to be fair a little bit, though, I mean, that pay-per-view with John Duddy, I mean, it was Julio Cesar Chavez, dude. You know what I mean? He was pretty much the star at that time when he was a top rank. Right now, I mean, you're getting pretty much pay-per-view fights every fucking fighter, dude. You know what I mean?
Thurman is a star, though.
Yeah, but he wasn't at that level of a star. You know what I mean? Like there's a big difference, like in the level of star that there was. But anyway, I just the reason I called in though was you said something yesterday that fucking made a lot of fucking sense, dude.
Oh shit! What was that?
In regards, okay, I'll give you your credit. You said a lot of things, but this one thing you said yesterday, you said it was Crawford was pretty much his first step-up fight, and then they're crowning him pound for pound over like Errol Spence and all this stuff like that. And that's just true. If you really think about it, fucking Porter's his first, like at 30, how old is he, 36? His first step-up fight, really, you know what I mean? So that just kind of hit, you know. But the other reason I was calling was what's CYP's podcast called? He dropped it in yesterday. I was just kind of interested because he's a dude. He makes a lot of sense. A lot of other shit he talks kind of like it's a little out there, but you know he makes a lot of sense. A lot of the shit he's saying, you know. Yeah. So I just kind of wanted to.
I was making sense when I told him to give me, you know, a small little sponsorship fee to help Border Worlds grow, and that way we promote his podcast. See how that made sense? But listen, Javier, I'm sure he'll pay for a counterpunch to give you the name because I don't know the name, but his channel is Mr. CYP. And we got Boomerang Stonebone.
What up? What up?
What up?
Yeah. See, Nash, man, you gotta play it fair, man. You know, you said you'll pay for Keith. He's the pay-per-view guy. He works for pay-per-view, not because of who he fighting, just because of who he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't you buy Earl and Bud?
Earl and Bud. Because
You said you wouldn't buy it.
Because I know I'm not getting a fair fight.
You are. Keith Thurman been out for 3 years. Only reason it's a fair fight, in my opinion, is because it's a 140 pounder that Tank knocked out, right?
Yeah.
So would you? So what I'm saying to you is, why would you pay $80 for a Keith Thurman off damn near 3 years, but you wouldn't pay for Bud and Earl? Bud been asking Earl
because Keith ain't gonna parade himself as the best welterweight when he beats Barrios. But if Bud beats he's
the best. He's parading himself before he beat him. So what I'm telling you is, it's not Bud's fault. Listen, do I want Earl to have a tune-up? Absolutely.
Come on, man. Y'all all changing y'all energy only because Bud.
I'm not.
When Bud said, when Bud said he wasn't gonna get no credit if he beat him because he came off the car injury,
and I agree.
Everybody agreed.
With that.
So now there's no different with the eye. The
Listen,
only difference
what I'm saying to you is
that he's a free agent.
At this point, no matter what he do, he's not going to get credit. He didn't even get credit for beating Porter. So I don't give a fuck what the fans, so-called detractors, going to say. If Earl stepped in that ring, he held it. Listen, they was happy for him to fight Ugas.
You must know he getting the fight, huh?
Huh?
You must know he getting the fight that you trying to plant the seed that if Earl step in that ring and all this craziness. Listen,
I just want the fight. It is what it is. If we can't, I don't want to wait. If it can happen, make it happen. You don't need no tune-up. You the big fish. I'll let it happen. If not, he gonna fight Boots. He probably lose that fight too. So,
but wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't that be better for him to lose the Boots and then Crawford fights the true champion?
No. What it would be better is Bud go ahead and spark Earl and he go ahead and fight Boots like he said he would do.
He ain't gonna fight.
I ain't vacating my belt. I will fight listen, if they mandate Boots to fight for the IBF and Bud got it, he already said I'm fighting Boots and then I'm fighting Ugas. But if we gonna sit back and Earl just not fight him and then, hey, go fight Boots, a mandatory, and then lose a unified champion, let's let it happen as it go.
Yo, if you willing to beat Earl's mandatory, you willing to take out the mandatory challenger, man. That's how I see it. But look, I wanted him to do better on pay-per-view, so I know we ain't getting no Boots versus Crawford because if the Porter one ain't do right. The only one we getting is the Earl one because that's the one that people gonna pay for. You know what I'm saying? I pay for all of them. I would pay for Ennis and Bud too, but I know that's not what the public is gonna do. They gonna wait for the Earl fight. But I just rather him be healthy, man. I don't see what's wrong with that. I'm not being a hater. I'd rather him be healthy so there ain't no detractors. JT, place to be.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. We're doing live TV. I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'm killing this motherfucker. Why do you have to talk like that? Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yo, what up? Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah, so look, the only thing I had a problem with, well, a few things that I had a problem with Stonebone. He keeps saying Bud ain't get credit for retiring Sean Porter. I think he did get credit. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Didn't you give him credit, Ness, on the show?
Hell yeah.
All right, so I mean, like them Bud guys, they just want too much attention with it. Bud doing his thing. I'm happy. He's out their contract and them fights will eventually be made. Now the thing about the Ennis and Errol Spence fight, I think he should fight. I think Errol should fight Bud, and the winner fights Bruce Ennis. But I respect that if Bud do beats Errol, which I don't think he will, but it's a possible chance he can, because I still got Errol in that fight. Because everybody counted him out and shit like that, but I still got Errol in that fight. But I respect that Bud would fight if he win, he'll fight Bruce Ennis, and I'm pretty sure Errol would do the same thing. Because a lot of people, like he said it on the post, a lot of people starting to take I guess we say like quietness or whatever, because he ain't talking, he ain't running his mouth. They taking that as ducking. Like, why you gotta go back and forth on Instagram or social media? You do your action talking in the ring. I feel bad for all these guys that just think Bud has power and Spence don't have no power. Somebody said earlier, oh, when Bud catch Arrow on the chin, well, fuck. Well, what we seen when two people got hit on the chin, who took the punch better, and I think Arrow took a punch better on the chin than Bud ever did. So my thing is, if that goes both ways. If Arrow catch Bud on the fucking chin, we gotta see if he gonna still stand up or get back up. That's my call.
Julius, what up?
Hello.
What up?
Yeah, pass me by, man. I'm in KFC and pass me by. I'll come the next one.
All right. Enjoy your lunch, champ. It's all good. Shout out to all my blue collars. We out here grinding. Let's go. Every day I'm hustling. Touch potential.
Yo, what's up, man?
What up?
Yeah, man. Yeah, this I smoke bud all day, man. I'm saying Buzz my man, but I think we should allow Spence to have a tune up, a good tune up though, you know. Ennis would be a great opponent. That would be a great fight. I would like that. I would give him that credit, you know. We want to see the best Spence and the best Bud fight. But it'd be interesting, you know. Spence is good at attacking, Bud is good at counter-attacking. Spencer's got size, Bud's got size, but he's also got, you know, ring smarts as well. It'd be a great fight, man. As people said, man, you would bet on any guy, but knowing that either guy could win. So it'd definitely be an interesting fight, man. But I don't think people should get so hard on the Buddinators as well, because Bud is not a 40% fighter. That's just the way it is. He's just not a 40% fighter. We can go into the pay-per-views and the money generated and stuff like that, but it's all about skill, is it not? The man's been world champion for so long. It's a 50-50 fight. Anyone can win. And we want to see that fight. That's what it's all about, man. I don't think people should get on Spence too much or get on Bud. I think Bud will make it happen, but people make the comparisons with Canelo. But Canelo would never walk over to PBC for 40%. It just wouldn't happen. So they can't expect Bud to do the same thing. If they say to him 50-50, let's get it on. If he says I think with Spence, he's just got to say the way it is. If he wants to have a tune-up fight, then allow the man. He's coming back from the injury. That's what I would say. But if not, let the fight just let the fight marinate to it's gonna come next summer or something like that. I can see it coming because Spence don't take a back foot. He don't walk backwards. So I'm sure Spence will be up for the fight, man. But let the man come back, let him be healthy, and let's see a good product now. We don't want to see something like the Mayweather package.
Cut it. I ain't gonna front. His pictures from yesterday, he looked healthy to the motherfucker. He looked like he focused, you know. I seen a post JT talking about, JT, you got a counterpunch courtesy of Super Mix, who participated in Border Wars. I hope you at least checked out his fight.
I've been busy, man. I'm getting them ready for fights, man. We got Silver Gloves coming up, so I've been busy. So I get a chance to check out.
No wonder we ain't at 20,000 views, man. Your own best friends ain't even watching the fight. Jesus.
Nah, man. You know how it is, though, Ness. But thank you, Supermax. I'm gonna check your fight out, stuff like that. But man, like I was just saying, I agree with the last call. It's a 50-50 fight. You know, we can't go off of what what Bud did Sean Porter or what Arrow did Sean Porter, how they beat each other. All I can go off for the consistency. And consistency, Bud is winning, consistency, Arrow's winning. You know, they both show I can't even say vulnerability in both of their fights. But I know for a fact Arrow has a 50% chance that he beats Bud, and Bud is a 50% chance that he beats Arrow. I don't just see them two fighters just walking through each other like that, you know, and stuff like that. Because you still gotta be in the fight to get those knockouts, to land those shots and stuff like that. And both of them guys got a lot of dog in them, and they got a lot of fight in them. So I just want to see the fight happen. As far as a tune-up, I respect Errol Spence's wishes. If he don't want no tune-up, hey, we can't come up with no excuses. If he got in there and got in one of them top fights one of the top opponents and lost. If he don't want no tune-up, I respect that. Because I respect that move. Because, like, hey, he did that last time. He jumped in there straight with Danny, and everybody was saying he should have got a tune-up after the car accident. So I'm just waiting back to see the fight, man, and be like I told you so. That's my counterpunch.
All right. Boomerang, Brandon. J-Mac.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes.
I get tired of these man clown fans get on here and want to cry me a fucking river. Your man ain't knocked shit out in 4 years. What he did in and out the ring is his fucking problem. He been a champion. I lost count. So I'm not sitting around here waiting on Errol to feel like or get his panties out of a bunch that he won't fight. The man came around and said tune up for people who unsure himself. Either drop the belts, fight his mandatory in boots if he's made, or fight for undisputed. Fight for unification. The man said he got 2 more fights at welterweight. We about not sit around here and play these crackhead games with these fighters. If the fight's gonna get made, they need to get made. Y'all want us to sit up here and act like we don't see what it is. I got Buzz stopping him in 10 fucking rounds. It's 2 different levels, and he gonna show Errol his levels to this shit. That's why Errol Ben had that energy about not making a fucking fight.
All right. Well, looks like we got intrigue on a Boomerang.
Hey Ness, when the last time you seen the Big Fish live?
What you mean live?
Yeah, when you seen him talking, when you seen him moving, when you seen him not a picture in the gym. I'm just saying. When the last time? How we know that picture even current? Man, the Big Fish down there in Yellow Beezy basement right now in witness protection, man. That dude back in the corner, he got boots and bud problems. And the dude don't know what to do right now. He contemplating moving up to 154. I'm tired of hearing all these narratives from these Spence fans, bro. They straight delusional. You've got some Spence fans saying that Spence should never fight Bud. Bud done fucked it up. He should never fight him. Never. Just like they did the Thurman fight. Shit is ridiculous, bro. Thurman is going to fight Bud before Spence fights Bud. And I guarantee you, I put money on that. Spence ain't fighting that dude before Thurman fight him. Thurman won it. Thurman just want to come back, fight Barrios. I guarantee you he fight Bud in the summer. And then we coming for Spence. That's my call. Holla at y'all.
Stone Bone.
What up? Yeah. But yeah, Ness, I know JT singled me out, but I wasn't saying nothing that was just unheard of where we saying, hey, let's get this fight. I'm not asking that Earl shouldn't get a tune-up. Listen, I want him to publicly say that there. His fans are the one that's saying it. He's telling me something different than his fans are telling us. That's all I'm saying. And if you think I'm supposed to support all these other guys in these pay-per-views, but now I'm like, I won't buy Buzz because Earl had an eye. Man, get the fuck out of here with that shit. If Earl step his ass in the ring, that's his fault. When he gets stopped, that's his fault. All this want to blame Bud. Like, I didn't know that Earl and Bud was playing basketball and he accidentally poked Earl in his retina and injured him and shit. Bud didn't injure that man. So tell that boy get healthy. If he healthy, let's fight. If he could have fought Ugas in February, that's cool. If he need a tune-up, that's cool. If we got to take, I'm starting to believe intrigue is right. Thurman want that fight more than Earl. Earl coach don't want to fight. His strength and conditioning coach don't want to fight. These niggas running around talking about, oh, if Earl wants to fight, if Buzz start talking more polite and get a publicist, like, dude, everything except let's fight. That's what they doing. And shout out to Thurman. At least Thurman trying to get a comeback fight and go after the fight. Earl don't even want the fight, it sounds like his fans is protecting him. The whole LDBC is saying, hey, Bud, you shouldn't even fight Bud. He don't deserve you. He's a monkey, a bum. It's weird. They on their channel. They headlines are saying it. So do they not? His fans don't want the fight. It sounds like the only people who want to fight are the Crawford fans. And the energy does change. Just like how you was chasing Keith Thurman down. Nobody felt sorry that Keith Thurman was hurt. Nobody begged for Keith Thurman. Them niggas pushed for Keith Thurman to be stripped. So if you don't want to fight Boots, drop your belt. If you don't want to fight Bud, just say the shit. Quit acting like it's Bud's fault that he pressing Earl. When Earl out here talking about, I'm coming back in February, I can fight Ugas, man down, Bud a clown, all this shit. But now when it's time to fight, hey, I need a tune-up. I know I was going to fight in 60 days against Ugas, but that was cap. I really ain't ready. So let's make the fight if he ready. If not,
Counterpunch, JT.
And look, I might need two. But look, first off, Stumble, I ain't single out, but you had said something, I responded to it. But this for intrigue, I guess I'm gonna so you Stumble don't feel like I singled them out. Intrigue, Keith Thurman fighting a 140 pounder. So let's stop capping. Let's stop talking all this bullshit that don't even deserve to be on pay-per-view. Barrios, he lost to Gervonta Davis, got knocked out by a smaller man that started at 130 or 126, whatever. Gervonta Davis. It's worse if he started at 126, but I think it's 130 he started at. So Keith Thurman, he need to get back and focus on Barrios' fight, okay? Hey, man. I think that last one was for me. I'm not illusional, but all I'm saying, I'm going off of consistency. It don't matter about who got knocked out, who got the knock, who's been stopping and stuff like that. It's about who's winning, who been consistent. They both been winning their fights, no matter what you look at. Everybody's saying, Errol don't want to fight this guy, but Errol the one that came back and flew out of fucking cult and then fought Danny Garcia, one of the top welterweights. So all I'm going by is consistency. Keith Thurman just had a fucking little shoulder injury, and he always talk about a tune-up. How many times we been talking about a tune-up with Keith Thurman? So get the fuck out of here with Keith Thurman, man. Let him fight that little small-ass Mario Barrios, and I bet you gonna struggle with him. So I'm just waiting to see what Errol come back and whatever fight he have, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a top contender fight. It's not gonna be no tune-up fight. It might be Bud, it might be Ennis. So I'm just waiting to see Errol get back in the ring and do his thing. That's all.
J-Mac, Counterpunch. All right. You on that?
I didn't. I'll take it though. Shit. Oh, that's two for me. I owe you. And Izzy gave me one. Look, man, I ain't got too much to say on this shit, man. I've been arguing this shit for years. B-Dog, man, I'm not gonna curse on that show, but I already told you what I told you in the chat. You're a fan. You love me, and I love to meet you face to face too. All this Bud and Spence, yeah, man. Spence ain't man down nothing in 4 years. And all this, they both got power. Spence ain't effective with his power unless he land to the body. He ain't gonna land that power shit on Bud to the body. Bud too elusive. Bud make too many adjustments. And so what have you. So I'm willing to bet Spence get knocked out in 10 rounds by Bud when Bud power shots land more effective because he actually placed his shot a lot better. Spence don't throw no punches off balance. Spence don't move his head. He don't change his speed. He's straight up and down. Bud go fuck him up in that high guard. And I'm going to be sitting up there watching, laughing, telling you I told you so. And you know what you niggas going to be making excuses saying it was the car accident. It was the eye injury. So just build y'all fucking excuses for when he get his ass knocked the fuck out. That's my counterpunch.
Keem the Dream in Florida. Are you available? Alrighty then. I got another counterpunch from JT.
Yo, Ness, how many I owe you? You gave me that 2 or what? It was what it was.
This will be number 2 for you, champ.
All right, look. Okay, look. All them little Bud boys keep saying, Spence ain't knocked nobody out. Yeah, it's hard to get knockouts at the top of the level of the when you fight top competition. You know, I can't say that for everybody else. But all I'm saying is, man, I want to see the fight. And what Bud doing all this stoppaging, but you know, like I say, I feel like he got to be in the fire a little more with Errol Spence to even get a stoppage. All this straight up and down, he don't move his head. Spence always had to move his head because he's blocking his punches and he always in a position to punch back. So I want to see if Bud will sit in there and take them shots that he like giving and stuff like that. And I don't mean literally sitting there because Bud do move, but what I'm saying is you got to still be in the hot spot to land the extra shots that you land and stuff like that. And I don't see him doing that against Spence and stuff like that. I'm telling you, bro, when this fight happened, Spence gonna make a lot of adjustments to all these fighters that think Spence just a flat-footed fighter. We're gonna see a different Spence when this fight come out. That's my counterpunch.
Counterpunch. Hawk, Maryland.
Yo, you got me, Ness?
I got you.
Bro, the disrespect to Earl, cuz no, we can't have it. I got Earl. He can fight all three of those guys now. And I'm not saying I like Crawford. I like Boots. I like all of them. I'm just saying the disrespect for Earl is unreal. I got Earl coming back and fighting either Ugas, Crawford, and if the Boots situation go, I don't got him being worried about fighting Boots either. And all those are dynamic fighters and great fighters. So Earl ain't scared to fight nobody. And stop down, Earl got that vicious jab, man. He's strong as hell. And as far as him and his friend Yellow Beezy, that don't got nothing to do with his boxing, bro. That don't got nothing to do with his boxing. Oh, I do want to shout out. I did go and subscribe to the CYP show, dog. That dude's smart, man. That dude got a nice show, bro. I like his show, man. So, I was about to say, yeah, stop running down on Earl like this, fellas. Everybody running down on Earl, man. Earl wants to surprise everybody next year. I still like Earl Spence Jr.
All right. J-Mac, counterpunch, courtesy of Supermax.
Yo, shout out to Supermax. Thank you for the counterpunch. Nobody ain't disrespecting Errol. That's even more so why this fight need to get made. It's just overdue. We're tired of talking about the fight. We've been talking about the fight since Errol told the man, get a belt and I'll fight you. All this cross the street shit, it was convenient for them to cross that street when it made sense and when they wanted to. We saw Deontay Wilder cross it multiple times. Errol has been hiding in protective custody and what have you. So all this shit about fighting Bud, that's what it's all built from. So I just want to see the fight, man. Don't get it twisted. Errol is a 50. If y'all saying he 50-50, because all y'all saying he 50-50, some of y'all saying he need a tune-up. Ness trying to put bad law on the fight, but he gonna support this Keith Thurman bullshit and say he ain't buying the fight, but like he ain't been sponsoring this fight for years. All I want to do is see the fight. I got Bud beating the shit out of Errol, and I'm totally convinced, and I can't see no other way.
All right. Boomerang, Brandon. Brandon.
Yo, Ness, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, somebody touched on it earlier. I don't know if it was Brother Stonebone or my brother J-Mac. They both been spitting heat. Shout out to my Bud brothers, man. We've been killing this shit the past few months, man. We've been vindicated. We've been spitting flame, and you niggas really can't say nothing. Y'all just got to sit there and take it and be quiet. But why wasn't nobody saying Errol needed a tune-up when he was talking about fighting Ugas in February? I just want to hear y'all say Bud on a different level. I respect that if y'all just admit Bud on a different level. Ugas ain't Bud. He could have beat Ugas without a tune-up, but with Bud, he needs one, possibly two tune-ups. If y'all man up and say that and admit that Bud on a different level than the rest of these niggas, I'd be cool with it. But if you can't admit that, you full of shit. So just start admitting that. Yeah, we weren't saying he needed a tune-up against Ugas in February because Ugas ain't Bud. Bud is the truth. I just want to hear all y'all say that. Bud is the truth. He need tune-ups. And this with Keith and Earl. How is fucking tuning up against Mario Barrios and niggas like Cody Crowley gonna get you ready for Bud? Is fighting Mario Barrios gonna get you ready for Bud?
It ain't about getting ready. It's about timing and rust, man. You don't want to be caught on a high-level fight with an Earl or a Terence with your timing and with Russ. You don't want to have bad timing. You don't want to have Russ on you. You get that off with a Barrios, with a Lopez. The issue was, in the Lopez fight, he found out, fuck, I'm injured. Now what do? Do I pull out the biggest fight of my career? Biggest money fight? Biggest opportunity of my life? And I might not get it because I'm injured? Or do I go balls to the wall and try to do the best I can? That's what he done. And I think he did really good, man. He landed a lot of right hands, more than anybody I know. You know what I mean? More than Ugas. More than Ugas. We got AMG. What up?
Yo, what's up, Next? Haven't talked to you guys in a bit. Congratulations on the Border Wars. That was sick. I watched that. Really
Thank
good
you,
show.
brother. Appreciate it.
Yep. In regards to Terence versus Prograis, I'm not interested in the fight personally, just because he's too small. He's not really a big 140. The only fights, if he's not getting Earl or he's not getting Ugas, then it's really either Virgil, Boots, or maybe Taylor. That's about the only thing that I'd be interested in, if it's not going to be Earl or Ugas. What was the other topic? There was something else that we were talking about. I've been kind of coming and going.
Keith Thurman and his return pay-per-view fight.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with most callers. I don't think it should be pay-per-view. I'll definitely watch it, but I'm not paying. And I don't mind the fight, though. I do favor Keith in that fight, but we got to see his timing. Because I agree he shouldn't go for Bud yet.
All right, Intrigue.
Yeah, man. JT was talking about what JT was saying. Thurman, Barrios, he shouldn't be fighting a 140-pounder. Well, what that same energy was when Earl was fighting Mikey, and went 12 rounds with him. Didn't take no chances to knock that dude out. Where that energy was. Look, man, if Spence fight Bud or Boots right now, it's gonna be a fish fry. The big fish getting cooked. That's what I got to say.
All right. Sorry about the pause, Davidian. What? Oh, JT counterpunch.
Thank you. Right on time. Shout out to Intrigue. With that bogus ass counterpunch or whatever you just called them to say. The difference between Mikey and Barrios, Mikey was a big name. Mikey kept calling out Errol Spence. Errol Spence did not want to fight on Mikey. So the fight got hyped up. Mikey is a way bigger name than Barrios ever could be in the sport and stuff like that. That's the difference in the fight. That was like Manny Pacquiao moving up, trying to take a fight to fight all these guys in a high weight class. That's Mikey Garcia. That's not Mario Barrios. Keith Thurman always hurt. He always coming in for tune-ups talking about my get back gear. I'm tired of his get back gear because he's been saying that for years and stuff like that. Then he slipped up and fought another little small Manny Pacquiao, and Pacquiao beat his ass. So that's the difference between the two fighters. And Mikey, I'm gonna see Barrios beat Mikey Garcia, just being honest with you and stuff like that, even at this level of Mikey Garcia's career. So that's the difference between those two fights. That's my counterpunch.
Steve, Chicago.
You suck.
Wrong soundbite.
Yeah, we ain't dick riding in this house.
SDS Promotions.
If Wilder fights Usyk, they're going to take Usyk out in a stretcher. Well, because they don't like the facts. What the hell did Billy Joe do? He wasn't the guy that everyone thought he was.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
We got to stop capping for AJ, man. He ain't that dude.
Give me liberty or give me death. Hey, God bless the United States of America.
Good morning.
What
You hear me?
up, Steve?
Hey, how you doing? All right. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is. I just been sitting here listening to a lot of the callers, and one guy really got me where he said it needs to marinate some more. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about all this. Like for me, the ship has sailed on this. If these guys want to crown, they want to crown Crawford for beating Porter. Porter was just on his show talking about how he's going to be an actor, and he's been training to be an actor, and this and that. So, like, if they want to crown him for that fight, so be it. But I'm at the point now where I rather see him fight the generation coming up. The ship has sailed for me. I'm not really even interested in him anymore. It marinated too long. We got too many questions with his health. I'm not looking for this fight no more.
Well, all right, man. I understand.
That's just my view on it.
All right. No, I get it, man. There are questions. JT. Or is that old? Okay.
This is another one. This is my last one. I want to get off this topic. Intrigue. I just read your message. You can send what you want, send whatever. But I forgot to comment. Respond to Brandon. First off, Brandon, you can stop it right there because I've been sitting on the back call. Ugas is not no easy fight for respect. I've been respecting Ugas way before Pacquiao, before Stonebone, J-Mac and them was shitting on Ugas when Ugas was in the talk of fighting Bud Crawford. And to me, that's still a 50-50 fight. That's a good fight. I would love to see. So my thing is, you need to stop all that. Y'all think y'all winning right now. About time Bud finally fight a worthy opponent to get the respect. So yeah, I'm trolling on that, and I'm just gonna go back to that. That's all I'm saying. So like, man, y'all on this high horse. I don't have a problem against Bud, but the problem becomes with Bud is when y'all start trying to dethrone Arrow. Like, he ain't been consistent at the top of the weight class. Like, he ain't been beating the top guys out there. He was beating the top guys before Bud was beating the top guys. And all this talking about Yellow Beezy and all that, let's keep it with the boxing. Because the thing about it, Yellow Beezy don't be in the ring with him when Arrow doing his thing in the ring. That's all that matters. So that's just like a excuse. Y'all want to come out, y'all want to troll and all that shit like that. Let's just keep it with boxing. It's a 50-50 fight. I can't wait to see the fight happen.
All right. And that looks like we are done with counter punches. Time to get back to D Nice that says, who you got at 250-ish, 6'1" in their 40s? Oh shit, he trying to fight in Border Wars. 250 in a 6'1" in their 40s though. I got a 40-year-old Canadian, but he's healthy as hell. But look, don't be fooled by muscles. It's different. You could be in he's like on that, plyometrics and calisthenics. So he's doing pull-ups or pec dive push-ups from like those rings. So there is strength. But again, that has nothing to do with boxing technique. We could get you some footage. I definitely got you a 40-year-old novice heavyweight. And it looks like JT wants another one. What, JT? No one even said anything.
No. Somebody did say something in the back call. I'm talking about Stonebone. I'm ranting. It's Stonebone. I forgot to mention the Stonebone. Stonebone always come on here talking about what the LBDC said and all this and stuff like that. Man, leave that over there, man. This is a different panel. I don't even be in a chat, so I don't see it and stuff like that. But you always come over and talking about the LBDC saying, man, that's why we don't even listen to them boys no more. So stop bringing y'all frustration over what they say and then what Ness did, because Ness run a different narrative than they run and stuff like that. So you can leave that over there with that Stonebone. That's all I wanted to kind of punch and say again.
Cheers.
That's my last one.
Well, on that note, NestGTO, Instagram and Twitter, actually, we still got some counterpunch I got to get to. That I stopped at D Nice. And we got Javi, who says, Fat $10, shout out to you. Ness, we need a follow-up interview with the man, Chris Colbert, regarding Fury versus Wilder 3. No, sir. No, sir, man. Some things are better left unsaid. Intrigue with a counterpunch.
Boy, JT, you better hope I forgot what I wanted to say when you was talking. Ness, how many tune-ups has Thurman had in his career?
Thurman has had, I don't know, Josecito Lopez.
That's the only tune-up that you can really think about. And that's not even really a fucking tune-up. So when they talking about he had all these tune-ups and he won this and that, nah, that ain't real. He getting a tune-up with Barrios, and then he doing what y'all boy Earl Spence ain't trying to do. I guarantee you Thurman fight Bud in the summer. I guarantee you that. And see, I don't forget the other shit I wanted to say. I don't forget everything, but that was the main thing. All them tune-ups, it ain't no tune-ups with Thurman. Thurman done fought the best. Danny Garcia when he was undefeated. Sean Porter after one loss. Then he went into Josecito Lopez after a long ass layoff, beat his ass every round except one, and then fought Manny Pacquiao. Like, what else y'all want that man to do?
All right, we got LV Slugger right after this counterpunch from For Sure Fire D in Dallas. Got the big win over Jerome Lambert from Milwaukee. They're both going to be fighting in Border Wars 14 April 2nd. This time, DeMarcus will be going for the title versus Corey Frank from Beaumont, Texas. And his $5 super chat is, make the Mitty versus Oscar fight. Mitty and Jerome are both popular enough in the community to carry their own fight. Plus, their ages are closer. So that is a good point. Jerome is a big name in the community already, so he can fight a no-name and that fight be interesting. And Mitty is a big name, so he can fight Oscar that hasn't been introduced to the community yet. I like your idea. I like the way you're thinking, my friend. We got Big Fish Vega that says Big Fish in the name because the Bud Boys in the back call acting like Earl. And us fans hiding scared. Let the big fish heal and see what happens. That's all I want, man, is a fair fight. And that's how you get a fair fight, you know? By having zero questions. We got the best dad ever, who's actually going to be signing up to Border Wars and is looking for a 160-pounder novice. Best dad ever, shout out to you. $5 super chat says Crawford got his first title at 27 years old. 2014 versus Ricky Burns. But people say Tank ain't done nothing yet. Kinda funny. Ooh. Ew. Danny Ramirez. I mean, I get it. I get what he's saying. Like in retrospect, yeah. You know. But it don't matter at this point because look at all that Crawford has done now. Since then, you know. So, but I get what he's saying. Like, give Tank time is what he's saying. He's a Tank fan. He's like, give Tank time. You know, give Tank time. But we got Danny Ramirez that says Rios versus Richard Abril and Marquez versus some guy was on pay-per-view. Thank you. Not to mention Rios versus Gamboa was going to be pay-per-view until Gamboa said, I'm out of here. And we got Rice Eater. He says, the fuck that caller was talking about. Porter was Bud's first step-up fight. Undefeated champion Gamboa, Victor Postal, Julius Ndongo. Name one undefeated King Spence beat. The best dad ever, back with another one. He says, when Ness holds Border Wars, he has money goal for the year. PBC has to reach their quota, just like any other business company. Stop whining about pay-per-views. This is true. But what they don't understand is even like me, like, you know, some border wars I win, some border wars I lose, you know. But you go into it expecting to lose because you're building something. Obviously, you can't lose forever, you know. That's that. Big Fish Vega back with another fat $5. Bud Gang. Bud has no weakness. Never misses a punch. Best defense I've ever seen. Greatest power puncher in history. No one is great as Terence Bud Crawford. Damn. Rice Eater. Wrong. Brooke had the best jab at 147. I mean, pre Gennady, they were calling him the number one welterweight. It pissed me off. You know, that they were saying that while Keith was out there undefeated doing his thing. But yeah, you know, he was definitely considered a very technical boxer and the number one welterweight after he beat Sean. Rice Eater says, facts. Little Fish fans cap for Spence taking a 135-pounder 12 rounds. Rice Eater back with another one. Excuse me. He says, back another. Every Spence fan said nobody stops Porter. That is true, man. We thought nobody stopped Porter. Fucking hell. LV Slugger, what up?
Only time y'all see me in Rays is when I turn into the Bronze Mama. I want a body, and he gonna be the body. The ambulance better be ready, the medical better be ready, the referee better be ready. They better have that towel to be able to throw it in.
SDS Promotion.
Was he right?
LV Slugger.
B, what up?
What up?
What up? Yeah, man, really, on Thurman, yeah, I just want to see how he look, man. You know, hopefully he get in the ring and give us a good performance in a minute. So, you know, hopefully he can, just give us a good dominant performance. You know, but really on the Bud tip, man, you know, people still saying he ain't, fought nobody. I thought, people wanted to see the Porter fight. You know, that was supposed to be the test, but I just feel like that fight just proves, it's not who he fighting. It's not necessarily, who he fighting. It's just what he doing. You know what I'm saying? They can miss me with the Porter was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If that man would have beat Bud, he would have went over there on PBC and got him a pay-per-view fight with EJ, part 2 on unification. Big payday. So Bud clearly retired that ass. That's right. And you know what I'm saying? It's just clearly the Bud effect. Once you get in that ring with that man, you don't come out that ring the same. That's the Bud effect. So stop it. So if EJ decide to get in that ring with him, and you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be the same thing. Welterweight Bud is stopping all these guys, man. So I mean, it's just clearly it's levels to it, and he's showing that. So if EJ decide to come back and give us the biggest fight in boxing, we can't knock it. We can't, we just got to give credit where it's due. We got to give EJ credit.
Whatever, LB Slugger. Y'all stay wanting these fake accolades, man. My man would be beating someone that we have questions over. Why wouldn't you want him to just get that one fight? To just see that everything is working properly. Like, that he's not pawing at his eye after the first jab. Like, is none of that shit important? This is so weird to me. CYP is on you.
You know, it's funny how people say, Tank ain't fought nobody. I say, Tank ain't fought nobody. They like, who he fought? I was like, Barrios. They be like, Barrios who? Oh, the Barrios is about to fight Thurman. Tank ain't fought nobody, man. Who Tank fought? Isaac Cruz. Man, who's Isaac Cruz? The one who Ryan Garcia just offered a fight to? Ah, man, damn it. I guess Tank has fought some people. But anyway, serious note, everybody who tunes into my show, I watch y'all in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all. Everybody's chat who goes down on my show, we do put it on the show so you can get your questions answered by the ladies or by the fellas on there, man. We a community out there, dog. We are a family show. So if you want to laugh and joke and talk to some badass women and hear some badass opinions that's gonna make you mad, laugh, cry, whatever, come to the CYP show. Controversy correct. Tune in. Mr. CYP is all you gotta type in and the show's right there. And everybody, like I said again, thank y'all really, really from the bottom of my heart who supports, because it's not just about me, it's about everybody. JT and J Mac are regulars on the show. So you're not just supporting me, you're supporting them. And they ain't about boxing. CYP out.
All right. I got. Who is this in the 616? Hey, John, I was just talking about you yesterday. Wondering if you was going to come on down the border.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one day, hopefully soon. But I used to like kind of diss on Crawford a lot just because I just didn't like the people he fought. But now, like, he's freed up. I could kind of see why Bud fans are kind of mad at Errol Spence, because, like, the dude fought one time since September of 2019, and it's just like he's holding up the division, and albeit it's not his fault, injuries happen. But you look what happened with Keith Thurman. The dude got stripped for dealing with his shoulder injuries, and it's just like you'd like to see the same treatment to free up at least one of the belts, but that more than likely isn't going to happen, and it's just like, come on, man, I want to see you active, like, fight somebody soon, like, get that tune up out of the way, because at least Keith Thurman, he's coming back, and I'm probably not going to pay for the fight just because, like, it just doesn't entice me, because I get Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano for free, and, like, you want me to pay for Thurman when the dude's last fight was Manny Pacquiao, and the dude doesn't have the same appeal that he once had after losing that fight? It's like, if he came back, it'd probably be a lot different if he came back sooner, but it's just kind of confusing, kind of really hate the division where it stands right now, and hopefully things just get back to these dudes fighting, but that's my call.
Well, all right, champ. All right. Oh, shit. And no, in the building. What up?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
Whoa. What's happening, man? With the show, I'm just coming in, bro. I heard like the end of the segment on the last call. I'm trying to what we talking about? We talking about what, fighters taking too much time off, injuries. What we talking about here?
We talking about Barrios and Keith. We officially doing a show on it because, you know, we've only said it on other shows, so we just talk about it. It's still a rumor, you know, it's still being reported. Nothing's official, but it's said to be pay-per-view. Then we talk about the confrontation between Crawford and Regis.
Okay. I seen, like, I'm not reading too much into the Regis situation because he had 140, bought at 147. Regis already said he ain't going to 147 no time soon, so
but what you thought about that energy, though? I mean, did you see that?
It's two competitors. It's two people that's you know what I mean? It's two people that like to compete and they don't like to lose. You know what I'm saying? Even though Regis got an L, he's still a competitive guy. So I mean, I only seen like the little small clip that Ellis Setback did. Maybe there's another video or two I need to watch. But I just seen two dudes just chopping it up. Now, if they had something after that and they got a little more energy involved or whatever, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. You might have ain't heard it. I mean, he basically told them, literally said, I if you'd have moved up to 47, I'd have smacked you up. And he said that in front of his lady. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess it ain't nothing.
No, I ain't. I heard Regis describing what I seen. I ain't seen no lady around. I saw them.
His girl was in the video. I'm talking about his girl. Actually, Crawford was addressing her because she was like, yo, you was trying to call my husband a nobody and he had belts. So he was like, nah, at the time, you got the timeline wrong. I was about to be undisputed, so why would I fight Regis? But he said, I told Regis he could come up to 47 and I smack him up. And then Regis just smiled and shook his hand and shit. So, it was just,
Yeah, Reed. Well, see, I ain't see that part. So you got me on. You got my head tied on that one. What I seen they do is maybe I saw the after effect of that. Maybe I saw them chopping it up. Like you said, after he was smiling and all that, it was shaking his hand. It was talking and looked like there was some competitive shit. Now that what you saying, like, yeah, I'd have had a problem with that. We'd have had to. Yeah, it'd have been some shit going on in that boy. I mean, that's reasons. Like, I don't really know him like that. You might have to holler at J Magnum. And I think he kind of closer to their age, right here. He might could tell you more about it, you know what I'm saying? But for that, but we'd have had a problem. Now, for as Keith Thurman, let me touch on this right quick. Keith Thurman and Barrios. I don't have a problem with that fight because Barrios, it looked like when he fought Tank, he was all sucked down and shit. Or whatever, looked like he needed to move up. He probably a natural 147 type of guy. So that's why I don't have a problem with the fight. What I do have a problem with is the pay-per-view. This dude coming off of loss, man, to Tank, and then we going to get this for a tune-up fight for Thurman. Dude coming off of loss into a pay-per-view. Come on, Ness, bro. We like you gotta admit like something going on here, Ness.
Yeah, I mean, something going on. That I mean, they got too many fighters, not enough dates. Without dates, you get no.
For pay-per-view, why we can't do Fox? Why we can't just put it on?
That's what I'm saying. Y'all not listening. I'm saying they got too many fighters, not enough dates. The only way you get a fighter on Showtime is if they got an available date, then they give you a certain amount for that fight. If that amount don't cover, the promoters got to cover. If the promoters ain't covering it, they throwing it on pay-per-view. Other than that, there's a certain amount of dates for that promoter on the network. Whenever there ain't no dates, you got to put it on pay-per-view because this way the network don't take the risk. The promoter takes the risk. We got a counterpunch from Steve in Chicago and a great, amazing super chat from Big Fish Vega, who I met at the last Border Wars, him and his son. Shout out to you guys. I'm so happy he went because he was obviously inspired and he's willing to take on the best dad ever at 160. And he said, let's call it the Battle of the Dads because like I told you, he brought his son to Border Wars. So that would be great. I actually got some tape of him. So Vega, if you on Instagram, hit me up right now. And I can send you some tape of the best dad ever. Actually, best dad ever, you need to send me some new tape because the word on the street is they don't believe that. The lineal champ, Jose, he's like, yo, because I was trying to set the best dad ever with a Canadian, but Jose like, nah, he don't like the way that footage look. He's claiming that he believes the best dad ever is holding back in that footage. I don't think so at all. I'm going to actually put it in the back call. I actually think that the best dad ever, that's him. That's him. That's how he looks. Yeah. So, that being said, who we got, right? Oh, the counterpunch from Steve in Chicago.
Yeah, Ness, I just wanted to bring up, like, you've been doing this a long time, right? You've been doing it. You report on this every day. The sport, for 10 years or more. We can't ignore, like going into that Porter fight, we were all excited, I was, everybody, but everything that was said and done after, like we can't ignore that stuff. So like now with this, like I said, the ship is sailed. To be honest with you, I would give him more credit going up against Virgil or Boots. I would cry, or even the guy that James just fought, who was, I forget, I forget his name, but like this is a lesson. If any of these promoters are listening to your show, this is a lesson. Marination is not good. They lost the bag on that fight. They marinated it too long, and I think a lot of people feel like I really don't care about it anymore. There's too many questions now when we go into this with his eye, with the, it's just, I don't feel like it's fair. Like it's the same. This is what I said about Porter. I don't think Crawford fought the same Porter that Spence fought. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
And
you.
I know people won't like that, but like that's just how. Like I can't ignore everything that he's been saying since the end of the fight. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
It don't make sense. Like he wasn't checked in mentally. His dad even said it. So how can we crown the guy? You know. And I'm just frustrated because these guys marinated this stuff too long, and you know it is what it is now. We're left with garbage. You know. I'd rather see these young dudes step up and challenge. I would give him way more credit if he knocked off these young dudes. That's me.
Yeah, but he's not gonna make that money.
No, I know that.
So that's why it's gonna be hard to happen because the Ennis fight doesn't bring the money of the Earl fight. But I'll say this, man, to you specifically, like it doesn't matter what version of Porter that was. It's what he did to Porter, the way he did it. No one's ever done that, you know. And Porter is 110%er. And what I mean by that is like, bro, Porter's 70% is still basically the 100% of a regular welterweight, bro. Nobody fights like Porter. Will never get that style again. You know, I pray I'm alive to see another dude fight like Porter. And you know that. You know that his style is intense and it's 24/7 every fucking round, all 3 minutes damn near. Once in a blue moon, he'll take a round off here and there, get on his back foot, show you he could box. But for the most of it, he's in your face, you know. And again, I hope we live to see another Porter. But no one's ever done that to Porter, man. It don't matter if he mentally wasn't there. That still was Porter. And Bud picked him apart, bro. And then the way he turned it on when he was told in the corner, shit was like a movie, bro. They told him, like, yo, you losing. And he went up there and whooped his ass. Like, how are you here saying, oh, I can't give him credit because he wasn't mentally in when almost everybody had him winning? Bud had to do what the fuck he did, or he was in jeopardy of losing or being robbed or whatever. It was close fight. So you saying I can't give him credit because he had his 1 foot out the game mentally. Meanwhile, it was still a tight fight up until he got them 2 knockdowns. I don't get it. There's no need to discredit. I mean, I'm a dude that loves to be the last person to jump on board, but bro, the fucking shit was obvious. Again, everybody had to have a tough fight with Porter. My man made it look easy. I don't know why we, especially the turn up. That was crazy. It was like, oh shit, really? All right. Fucking turned into Hulk on him. Quavo, ATL.
Man.
What up?
Shout out to TBV, man. What's happening?
Chilling.
I just want to say, man, Bud got everybody scared of him, man. If you go back and look at all those confrontations, like with him and Spence, he got the better of that. He kind of holds Spence a little bit, and with the shit with Prograis, he just hold Prograis too, and that Barrios and Thurman, man, I really don't want to see it, man. I damn sure ain't gonna pay for it though, but yeah, man. Thurman just need to retire, man. That's my call, bro. I'm out.
All right. J-Mac, counterpunch.
Yo, can you hear me, Ness?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, shout out to Steve. But Steve a lost cause at this point, man. Maybe he need to take a few months off from boxing. I know he suffered some harsh losses, and some of his narrative not sticking these days. How you gonna sit up here? Steve would not bet me, and Steve been back here on his back call for multiple years, and I told him Bud would stop Porter. I've been saying it before anybody ever had the nerve to call in and say it. And still, he gonna sit up here and say he gonna give him credit. But what happened to the same credit when Porter was actually winning the fight at some point? So he wasn't good enough then. Like, these dudes are sick, and something is sadly wrong with them. When things don't go their way, they find delusional tunnels to hide and run down. It's just like these Spence fans. We're not gonna act like the fight been marinating for the last 4 or 5 years. I don't lost count of how long it's been, but I know it's overdue. I don't care about what Spence need to do or get done. I just care about making the fights. If Bud was in the situation, it'll be Bud. Let me add another counter punch. Because last time I checked, when Kell Brook got his eye injury after the Golovkin fight, I didn't take credit from Spence after getting the win. I wanted to see the fight made. I made sure Spence kept the pressure on Kell Brook. All these leftover shit that people keep saying, Spence got all of Keith Thurman leftovers. So I'm gonna use Steve narrative. I don't think Danny was the same after Keith. I don't think Sean Porter was the same after Keith. And who else Errol got after Keith Thurman? Because he ate off that buffet quite a bit, right? Yo.
I hear you.
No, I'm just saying, I'm making a point. Let's stop playing these games, man. The fight's got to be made, and we got to stop making excuses. And then look.
What happened? Call you dead spot. All right. I mean, you had way longer than 5 minutes there. We going to Davidian.
Yo, what's good, Ness? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good show, good content. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still feel like the Keith Thurman, I'm looking forward to seeing him back. You know, we gotta see how he looks. I don't mind the fight. I just wish it was you know, maybe I wish it was on Fox, maybe not pay-per-view, but it is what it is. You know, this whole talk about Earl and Bud, I just want to see the fight, to be honest. You know, all this talk about he gonna just run in there and just destroy Earl, like, they can miss me with that. And I think what JT said earlier I like too. I was originally gonna say that. But yeah, my man Stonebone. Yeah, I don't watch LDBC or whatever their names is. They be talking a lot of blah 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 bullshit. So, you know, you can't bring that over to TBV and be talking that. So, but other than that, you know, great show. God bless everyone. That's my call.
All right. So I don't know who Tay is, man. So Tay sent the counterpunch. Who's Tay? Who's Tay today? Anybody know who's Tay? Who's this?
That's that.
Who's this?
That's me who sent the counterpunch too.
Oh, okay.
That's that. I sent the counterpunch.
Oh, wow. Let me see.
Nah.
Oh, this Devontae. Now I get it. Tay Devontae. Got it. Okay, best dad ever. So, yeah, man, Big Fish Vega, man, he got the call out, man. He got the call out. He said, what up?
Nah,
2 dads, get it done. 160. You sure you can make 160? Let me ask you, because I remember the first time Liz Low fought, he thought he could get to a weight just because he looked at someone. How much do you weigh today? Do you know?
Me? I'm 163.
Okay. So you
I've been
probably better off
20 pounds in 8 years.
You probably better off fighting at like 54. Like the minute you start running and working out for real, you're gonna lose a couple pounds. But you want that 60-pound fight?
Yeah, I think that's 60. Let me ask this though. What Jose think? He think I'm good? Because I ain't never been in the ring.
Yeah,
I mean,
he thought
I wrestled, I played football and shit, but I'm just fit. Can't help it. You growing up in the hood, you gotta know how to fight. So I can move my hands now, but I don't never box. So, I mean, if you don't want it, then I'll take what you say, the bad guy. I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, man. I sent the footage in the back call. We'll see what they say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right, that's cool.
All right. Who is this? Nestor, bring me back. Stoneball? That's you?
Yeah, that's me. Hey, I don't got no cash app or none of that shit, man. So I'm gonna have to see a way to just send you the money. Listen, man, why dudes keep saying my name? All I said is I want the fight. I said I'm willing for a tune-up. These dudes are saying everything but say Earl want to fight. And the last thing about the alphabet boys, when I said that people not giving credit, these guys turn around and said, "Yeah, we giving them credit." But when I pull up YouTube, all these guys are saying, "Oh, that fight was fixed." Ness, how long did you question Sean Porter's dad about that fight? 13 minutes, right? Did he stop early? Is your son mad at you? Ain't that a narrative on YouTube right now that they had a fixed fight, that he made his son come up short? All this shit that I'm talking about, that's narrative is being pushed, you acting like it's coming from nowhere. These dudes is not giving Bud the credit he's supposed to get. These same dudes that said Sean Porter was going to beat him, that he couldn't be stopped, are now running around with excuses saying, you know what, Sean could have continued. You know, he been hurt before. He been down before. His dad said, my son ain't never been down twice in the same fight, let alone twice within a minute. So you dudes need to go watch Kenny Porter before you keep running around talking about what I said, and go watch YouTube, and then you can talk to me about something. But Ness, I don't even got super chat or cash out, but I'm gonna send you this $5 because these dudes keep saying my name. They better come on this back call and address me.
We got LV Slugger counterpunch.
Man, you ain't see my counter. You must ain't see it come through.
I ain't see it, brother. I seen Steve's. I ain't see yours. I do apologize.
All right, it's straight. But I was just saying on the EJ tip, like I understand people saying tune up, like, but this man came out his mouth and said what he said. Like I understand, like but he said that he don't need that. But listen, let me ask you a question. Like, do we give EJ credit for Kell Brook after what he suffered against Triple G?
Yeah.
And coming back down and fighting, that's what I'm saying. So
yeah, but it's different circumstances, don't you think? I mean, you don't think going to come on, man. You don't think going to a foreign country, let alone the UK, and getting that win is big?
Yeah, that's credit. I'm giving him credit. No, I'm not knocking you. You the one saying we can't give Bud credit if he do do his thing against EJ after this injury.
Bruh, because we don't know. We don't know where his eye at.
And that's if he get in that range and do that, you know what I'm saying? We just got to give him credit where it's due.
Listen,
that's what he said. That's what he said.
You desperate
I would want to tune up. I would want to tune up. I would want him to tune up. But
so let him get a tune up. So let that be what the fans say. The same way y'all say y'all don't want to pay for Thurman Barrios. Say that. I want him to get a tune-up. Let that, because you know they listening. But you out here, you and all the Bud fans, we'll take it. So fuck it. If Thurman look good or bad, we gonna make it. Because they saying they'll take it. No, man. You should strive for better. Have a standard. You understand? Have a standard. Because I'm not giving Thurman best welterweight credit because he beat Barrios. I'm paying for Barrios because I'm a Thurman fan. That's it. That's all. That's all. I ain't paying for Thurman Barrios to call him a pay-per-view king. No. I want to see his tune-up. For whatever reason they got this motherfucker on pay-per-view, I'm going to watch it. But I'm not about to call him the best welterweight. I want to see how good he going to look and then be like, yeah, put him in there with Thurman or, Crawford or don't. No, he ain't ready. I want to be able to tell the truth. I want to be able to be like, nah, he ain't fucking ready, man. You see how shitty he look?
That's part of the sport, man.
No, you want a fake win. You want a fake win.
Nah, that's all part of the sport, man.
That's just like AJ win over Klitschko.
That's part of the sport, man.
AJ win over Klitschko. 2 years removed, vacant title. Oh, he great. That's a fake win.
Unified, undefeated. I don't see how that's not no big fight either. Like, this is an undefeated, unified champion, biggest fight in boxing. Like, I want to see how it's downplayed now. It's still a huge fight.
No,
it's the biggest fight in boxing.
I hear you, man.
Biggest fight in boxing.
Just like Pacquiao with his shoulder. Imagine we would have knew about his shoulder injury before the fight. How that would have been. How we would have felt. Come on, man. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. But I hear you, man. I hear you. You desperate for a name. You desperate for an accolade. That's the only reason. But I hear you. I gave you a call. We got Big Fish. You said that. Rice Eater, before Bud never fought anyone like Porter. After, Bud need to fight Boots, Virgil, David Benavidez, Canelo, and Tyson Fury. Then he can fight Earl. Fuck out of here. Ain't nobody say that shit. Hey, best dad ever. Did I give you enough of your time? Because I once I realized it was you, I kind of walked through your call all on Border Wars, right? Did you get it? You got to get it off your chest?
No, that's I was listening actually, but,
wow.
But then you said that, so I was like, let me call him.
Oh, all right. Well, we got to fight, Alex. Big Fish Vega, Battle of the Dads at 160. Let's go. We got Boomerang Coach Myers in the building. No, coach. Hey,
get my quarter, JT.
Oh, all right. Yo, check your Instagram in T-5.
Gotcha.
4, 3. Fuck, where's your name, bruv? Oh, there you go. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. All right, done. See what I'm saying? Community. Know what I'm saying? One hand washes the other. Together, we are greater. JP, Long Beach, what up?
Long Beach in the house. Yeah.
Hey, Nuss, you hear me? All
Yep.
right, man. My, the tables have turned. It ain't so fun when the rabbit got the gun, right? But it looks like bad business. One of the words we've been adding to PBC is inventory over the years. The problem with inventory sometimes can be surplus. And when you have surplus and you don't have product placement, you have an issue. And when that happens, you got to price gouge on consumers, and the investors got to take higher risk with the liquidity. And that's why we got so many pay-per-views here. PBC did the right thing. If you go back to 2015-14 at their premiere, they had all these dudes, Sean Porter, Errol. None of these guys were stars yet. They turned them all into stars. Wilder. We even have Ugas now that you have to pay. But you got no place for the product to be placed. So now it's on the consumers. We got to get priced out. As far as Thurman, it's a lose-lose for me. He's going to fight a dude in Barrios that a smaller dude in Davis already beat. So he has to exceed that expectation. If he doesn't, we don't care. So to me, it's a lose-lose. You're better off fighting like a Lopez, somebody that doesn't already have a preset standard that he has to exceed. That's my call, bro.
All righty then. JT, I think, did I ever give you your regular call? I'm pretty sure, but, making sure. T-minus. Arrivederci. Who we got on the super chat with the refresh? Let me double check this Cash App too. Leave no one behind. Bam, bam. All right, we are done. That's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Catch us on the next one. Arrivederci. Actually, Coach Myers got a boomerang, but I'm pretty sure you're not going to use that right now, right? Right. Oh, Majid, I see you. Holla at me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you said give your call to who? I'm sorry.
JT.
There you go. And then Majid.
Yeah. Hey, look, I appreciate it, Coach Meyer, but I'm gonna pass it to JP. Give it back to JP.
Oh, hot potato with these guys.
JP, you don't want it?
Shit, I ain't got nothing left.
Okay. Well, that means Majid said also. All right, I'm out. Peace. Next DTO, Instagram and Twitter. Catch us on the next one.